But we're back, and I'm terrified of what's gonna happen. Honestly, I'd rather be playing Radiant Tale right now. That was such a good game so far. We're only done one chapter, one route, not chapter. But it's so beautiful. I'm so excited.
では改めて本題に移らせてもらいましょうか。
Radiant Tale, Liyan. I finished Sylva's route. How was it for you? I plan on playing that game on my trip because I'm going to be going to California, so that's when I play it during my trip. Yeah, it is loud. What the heck? Why is this so much louder than Cupid? Is that better, guys? Took like 15 screenshots of Sylva. It's fair. Oh, actually, wait, I didn't need to do that. I just realized. Hang on. I didn't need to do that. It's okay, it's okay. I've done so much. Alright, we need to just go right here. I was complaining so much about how I didn't want to finish this route. I mean, it's hard, right? Like, when you like something a lot and you're like, dude. Alright, so this is common. I'm gonna need to try and make my notes so I don't forget. Armed with a mission of delivering a package to a certain shop on the main street. Is this better? Can let me know how the sound is. I don't know why this game is so much louder. Or maybe I've turned the sound down way lower on Cupid. I don't keep background music very loud. So maybe that's my problem. It's pretty low. Do that. I don't want to have it too low. Oh wait, this says movie. Just in case, we'll put that down. I did lower Cupid a lot. I don't know why. Maybe it's my old age. I used to be fine with, I never had to mess with the sounds. But now I'm like, dude, turn the music down. I want to hear the people talking. And then turn the SF down because I like fun music. Oh yeah. Radiant Tale has a great soundtrack. Armed with the mission of delivering a package to a certain shop on the main street, I left the castle to have lunch while I was at it and returned to Lapeer. Can I do this? Okay. Old age girl, stop. The music is still loud to you? Because I'm looking at the mix, basically. I can see my voice and like my desktop audio, and it's about even, but... Liyan, he probably saw this as an opening to catch me off guard and invited me on a date. I can see right through your calculations. If you're asking me on a date, I'm not going. Taking the initiative to nip this scheme of the bud, I declared that, but for some reason he looked dumbfounded.
Date?
A date? See, now he sounds quiet. What have I done? I like having low background music, but it is low. I made it so low. The music is so low. What? Oh, you're not?
いや、普通に今の話の続きをもうちょっと詳しくできればと思ったんだけど。
I was actually just thinking that we could carry on with what we were just talking about. What?
なんだ、実は意識しちゃってるんだ。
Oh, I see, I see. So you're self-conscious around me, Leah? No, I'm not.
いやー、鈍い男でごめんね。でもそっかそっか。
sorry about sorry. So that's what you think. I'm so sorry for being such an idiot.
それならそうと言ってくれれば、打ち合わせの後にちゃんとデートを。
If that's what you want, I'll make sure to take you on a proper date after our meeting. I said you're wrong. It's just a misunderstanding. Anyway, nothing had been confirmed yet, so we decided to delve a little deeper into the topic after a coordinator had been decided on. We ended things here for now. Liyan put down his teacup and stood up.
じゃあ、お城の仕事も頑張ってね。そのうちデートもしようね。
Okay, good luck with your work at the castle. Let's go on a date sometime. Alright, we're gonna jump. I think we're good. Shelby, I miss you. Have I messed up? Okay. Could do this and get that ending, right? I'm so confused. Am I on the right chapter? What chapter am I on? Does it tell me? Oh, that's common 1. Oh, we're on common 1. Did I mess up? Okay, we already... You know what, it's fine. We needed to do that anyways to get that right answer, so we're fine. Okay, yeah, we just gotta skip through this. I had to do that to get that right answer for Liyan anyways, because I did the wrong answer intentionally last time, so... It's fine. Oh wait, does that mean we get to see him be a man again? I missed him so much! He's so beautiful! Oh, Jinya! Where's Jinya?
Hi?
I love him so much! Jinya, you're so beautiful. I've missed you. I've missed you. What's problematic is I like when he gets his deep voice. Like when he gets a deep voice, it's so good. It's so good. Alright, to Liyan's place. There's a chance we might finish it. Unfortunately, I can't stay past 4, so we'll see. I sense it. Oh my god, that's how you view dad after hearing you simp. Literally. Literally. A few days after the ceremony had been announced to the public, I was chosen as the official coordinator of the festival's merchant stalls. Today, I was taking a look at the space in the plaza while holding a glaring contest with the paper I held. It only been a few days, but there are already so many applications for stalls. Unbelievable. There was one from a high-end restaurant in Kultura with a lengthy history. Another was from a mobile catering service serving Ferris beer, which was highly popular with spectators in the Dual City. Applications from the inside and outside Arthier already numbered in the 30s, and that was only counting what I had on hand. They'd definitely be more coming in too, and no matter how I looked at it, I alone wouldn't be able to process all of them. If I have to ask someone for help, then I guess Liyan's the best candidate. Oh man. Liyan. Actually, I was gonna get a neck tattoo for him. I totally forgot. Oh well. Desho? Roddy and Spiria may have been better in the sense that talking with them was easier. However, Liyan was extremely well known since Cheers had branches in all of the major cities. At a festival where merchants gathered from all over the world, he was the most reliable assistant possible. Plus, he promised he'd help me out last time we talked. The only thing I was worried about was his habit of flirting with every girl he saw. But I'm sure that, I think that, he'll be fine, right? Hopefully? So since in the previous game we had a conversation with him, it's implied that he doesn't flirt with every girl, that it's specifically her he flirts with. It wasn't outright said, but she said he flirts with everybody, and they're like, oh, does he? I'm sure that, things will work out. There weren't any rumors of him being detained by the security forces due to conflict involving women or anything. Not to my knowledge, at least. I turned a blind eye to my main cause of anxiety and schooled my expression. Alright, let's go talk with Liyan. As it turned out, I managed to find Liyan before even making my way to Cheers, you see.
ねえねえ、ちゃんと聞いてる？
Hey, are you listening to me?
もちろん聞いてるってば。それでみんなはどうしてるって？
Of course I am, promise. So, how's everyone doing? When I approached the main street, the hasty footsteps of the man in question appeared right before my eyes. In fact, he was walking happily with a girl. My hurried steps screeched to a halt, as did my thoughts and words. I darted away, reflectively taking cover, my mind almost blank. That girl walking shoulder to shoulder with Liyan seemed to be my age, or maybe slightly older. I let out a breath I'd been holding when I saw him talking animately with him. Well, I mean, I expected this. Considering his personality, it's actually perfectly normal for him to be with a girl, isn't it? I'd hidden without thinking, but after coming to my senses, I realized it'd be completely pointless. After all, this had nothing to do with me, no matter who Liyan tried to net with his honeyed words. That was what I told myself before standing up and walking out of the shadows. Ahem! After clearing my throat a little, I opened my mouth to call out to Liyan, but
だか
then...
ら、たまには顔出してってば。子供たちもパパに会いたがってるし。
Come on, show up once in a while. All the kids want to see Papa. Huh. Papa? Those incredibly shocking words sent me launching myself back into the shadows.
そうしたいのは山々だけど、今ちょっと仕事が忙しいんだよね。
I'd love to, but I'm a bit busy with work at the moment.
でも時間取れたら顔見に行くから、みんなによろしく伝えといて。
But once I find the time, I'll come and check on everyone. Can you tell them I say hello? I'd often thought of him as irresponsible or something of a player, but no way, he has kids? I don't mind kids. I'm pretty sure it's a ploy. I don't think he has kids. I think he adopts stray fae because of what Cheers is known for, and that's what they consider him Papa. They consider him Papa, but he's not Papa. Kids are gremlins. This was way more than I ever imagined. A strangled croak died in my throat. My heart slammed in my chest and I couldn't think.
ちゃんと伝えとくね。
Yeah, I'll make sure to do that. Liyan, of all people, had kids?
リジーもメイリもサリナもノノもカリオンも。
I'm sure that Lizzie and Meili and Serena and Nono and Korion and kids.
ロックもハルパスもデオルもみんな喜ぶだろうから。
Rock and Hapless and Doel will be over the moon. Aren't there way too many? I heard that the lifespan of Fenrir was much longer than a human. Still, something felt off, and I gawked curiously.
そういうことでまた今度。お土産頼むね、パパ。
Well, that's it then. See you next time. I'm looking forward to all the souvenirs, Papa. With those words, the girl left Liyan waving happily as she disappeared. I watched her retreating form, feeling extremely conflicted. Then Lian's ears twitched and he turned around to face me. His ears twitched? He's got human ears right now. He doesn't have kids, but I love how she's assuming that he's got kids. It's understandable, but talk to him. But no time for misunderstandings. Lian's ears twitched.
あれ?
Leah? She said the girl was the same age or older than MC. Awkward. He's older than her. He's a couple hundred years old, okay? He's not young. This is not a young man. He looks young. He is not young. Leah, I hadn't really done anything wrong, but I felt a bit guilty as I dragged myself out of the shadows and I spoke awkwardly. Hello, Liyan, what a coincidence! I never expected to see you here. Wow, amazing. Other girls her age calling him Papa. Yeah, but Papa's cute. Daddy's the problem. He's got some kids. They might have passed now, though. He could. He totally could. He could be married 2 or 3 times. Bro's doing good for his age, honestly.
いや、偶然じゃなくて運命かも。俺と君を結ぶ赤い糸的な。
Maybe it wasn't a coincidence, but fate, the red thread connecting us both together. I'm pretty sure that doesn't exist. I was almost thankful for his weird statement. It helped me instantly regain my composure. Narrowing my eyes slightly, I tried to probe into the matter. Were you chatting with a girl just now?
あれ、見てたの？
Did you see that? Purely by chance. Yeah, I happened to be passing by. I definitely, absolutely, undoubtedly didn't spy on you while hiding or anything.
そっかそっか。恥ずかしいとこ見られちゃった。
Ah, I see, I see. You witnessed a rather embarrassing moment. Then she really is... I braced myself. Contrary to my expectations, however, Liyan's expression was serious.
あの子さ、俺が出資してる厳重保護施設にいる子なんだ。孤児院って言えば分かりやすいかな。
That girl's staying at one of my Fae protection facilities I saw sponsor. Calling it an orphanage might make more sense to you. An orphanage for Fae?
そう。俺が厳重の保護活動してるって前に話したことあったでしょ？
Yep, I've talked about how I actively participate in protecting projects to protect Fae, right?
人と厳重の関係は昔と比べたらずっといいものになってるけどさ。
The relationship between humans and Faes have improved by leaps and bounds compared to the past.
それでも人の生活に馴染めない。だけど故郷にも戻れない厳重は一定数いるんだよ。
But there's still Fae who can't adapt to the lifestyle with humans, but can't return to their hometowns either. A memory came to mind. During our first performance in Kalita, this random horn? Bagpipe? During our first performance in Kalita, there had been Fae like Firo, who had been deceived and taken to labs, forced to cooperate against their will. You mean like the Fae children we took under our wings during the Kalita show?
そう。そんな子たちを引き取って面倒を見てる孤児院があってね。
Yeah, there's a specific type of orphanage that takes such children in and look after them. In that case, what did that girl mean when she said Papa?
あれ、そこまで聞こえてたの？それはちょっと恥ずかしいけど。
Oh, you heard that. It's a bit of an embarrassing story, but you see.
孤児院の子はみんな俺のことは父親代わりだからってそう呼んでくれるんだ。
The kids at the orphanage say that I'm their father figure, so that's what they call me. My suspicion was justified. Relief. Oh. Gosh, Ginia, I miss you so much. Oh, so that's why. Relief washed over me. At the same time, my cheeks grew warm. I was about to embarrass myself with an insane misunderstanding.
あれ、どうかしたの？顔が赤い気がするけど。
Does something bother you? Your cheeks look kind of red. No, it's just... I totally thought you had a bunch of kids, Liyan.
ないない。奥さんどころか恋人もいないし。
Nah, never. I don't even have a girlfriend, much less a wife. Liyan wore a wary smile before turning to face me once again.
誤解のないように言っとくけど、フェンリルって一途なことで有名なんだからね。
Ah! Just to clear up the misunderstanding, Farrens are actually famous for being mates for life, okay? Really?
そうなの。誰かを愛したら一生その人を思い続ける。
If we fall in love, our hearts are theirs for the rest of our lives.
まさに誠実で純情なこの俺。そのままの種族ってわけ。
It's a race that represents me perfectly, since I'm a man with sincerity and a pure heart. Pebble and Penguin. Oh, that's so cute. Sincerity and a pure heart.
そんなわけで、俺には君だけだよ。
And so, as you can see, you're the only one for me, Leah. That's sad. That's sad that she ends up with anybody else if he feels that way. Oh no.
何そのげんなりした顔。
Why do you look so unimpressed? It's nothing. I just thought that at the end of the day, you're still the same old Leanne.
待って待って。好感度がぐんぐんと下がってく音がフェンリルイヤーに届いてるんだけど。
At least he won't cheat. Hold on one second. My sharp Farron ears are picking up the sound of your affection meter dropping like a rock.
俺なんか選択肢的なの間違えた？やり直すからダメだった箇所教えて。
Did I make the wrong choice? I'll rewind. Tell me what I did wrong. Perhaps I've been a fool to think he might be earnest, responsible guy for even 1 second. At the same time, this is also what makes him so approachable. That's a lot of trouble, so don't bother rewinding. I'm here on business anyways.
要件？
Business? I've been officially appointed as the coordinator for the stalls at the ceremony. I was planning on heading to Cheers to discuss the matter with you formally.
そういうことならどんどん頼ってよ。協力は惜しまないからさ。
If that's the case, come on over anytime. I'll help you with in any way I can. Thanks, I'll be counting on you.
今度と言わず、早速この後からでもいいよ。
Okay. I read that as night, not right, and I was like, night now? Actually, how about you come over right now? I'd love to, but I actually have a meeting coming up. Telling him that I'd given him the details next time. I turned on my heel, but then... Whoa. Something ran past my feet, and in my haste to avoid stepping on it, I lost my balance. Classic. Tripping and getting caught by a boy. My vision swayed, but just when I thought I'd fall to the ground... Gotcha. No CG?
大丈夫？
Are you okay, Leah? I'm not okay. Where's my CG? Leanne was swiftly moved to support me with one hand preventing me from falling over. Yeah. Still holding me with one arm, Leanne called out to the mysterious thing that had rushed past my feet.
そっちの君も、そんな姿で人間の足元を走り抜けたら危ないでしょ？
And for you over there, running between humans' feet in that form is dangerous.
ごめんなさい。
I'm sorry. I looked over in the direction Leanne was facing. There I found a small clump of blue fur nervously peeking out from behind a potted plant. That's a Fae child.
君一人？親とか家族は？
Are you alone? Are your parents or relatives around?
その、一人で、町に来たばかりで。
I came to the city alone.
そっかそっか。
I see, I see.
向こうにシアーズって店があるんだけど、見えるかな？
There's a shop called Cheers over there. Can you see it?
そこへ行って待ってて。店員にリアンに言われてきたって言えば伝わると思うから。
Head over there and wait for me. If you tell the staff a man named Leanne told you to go there, they'll know what to do.
ああ、安心して。店員もみんな厳重だから。
And don't worry, all the staff members are Fae too. The small Fae nodded meekly before dashing away using the side of the road this time. I watched them leave from the corner of my eye when I remembered someone was still holding me. Thank you, Leanne. You can let go now. I felt restless suddenly, but Leanne only smiled slightly before shaking his head.
もうちょっとだけ。
Let me stay like this a little bit longer. Why?
なんでって、こんな距離で君のこと見られるなんてめったにないから。
It's because I rarely ever get this chance to see you up close like this. No CG of him holding her at all. I'm sad.
Yes! My petto!
Oh, thank you, Anonymous. I forget that's the sound for when it's a gifted sub. Aw, man. Oh, Papa. His face was right in front of me and my cheeks grew hot on their own accord when I found his eyes fixed on my own. Hi, Papa from Tengoku Struggle. Oh, Dio.
約得だな。このままさらっていけちゃいそう。
Lucky prize for being your savior, I guess. I feel like I could run away with you just like this.
あ、こんなところにほくろあるんだ。
I never knew you had a mole there. Leah, what?
いった!
Itay! You pervert! Liyan held his forehead and crouched down. I furrowed my brow as much as possible, looking down at him coldly. Feeling my heart skip a beat, and this guy's arms was a mistake. If Roddy were here, he definitely would have stopped at the forehead flick.
いって
Wouldn't have stopped.
おでこも痛いけど、君の視線も痛い。
Ow, 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 my forehead hurts, but that look is even more painful. Thanks to Lian's actions, both the fluttering of my heart and my senses gradually faded away, which I was grateful for. Thanks for saving me. See you later. Once again, I quickly voiced my thanks in the coolest tone possible. Then I was out of there. Gone.
Ah, まだヒリヒリする。
Oh, it still stings. With a wary smile, I waved casually at the girl who walked away with a quick strides. Once she disappeared around the corner, I cast my gaze down up to my hand.
軽かったな。
Oh, she's so light. Touching her was a profound reminder of one truth. She was an ordinary girl, just like she always claimed. I knew that she'd had painful experiences due to the loss of her parents. Even that was a normal minute misfortune that could be found anywhere. Her journey around the world with the odd group called Circus counted as special, yeah, but other than that, she led a peaceful life. She was the sort of normal human you'd find anywhere. She was a soft, delicate girl who seemed like she might shatter at a single touch. And so, if I were to be honest, I actually faltered a moment before reaching out my hand earlier. Was it really alright to touch her? Could I end up hurting her? That slowly made my reaction. That slowed my reaction for a split second. Simps everywhere.
久しぶりですね、リアン。
I wonder how long it's been, Liyan.
え?
Huh? I turned around out of habit when I heard somewhat nostalgic voice and felt a pat on my shoulder.
何ですか、その顔は。
Does Liyan have a brother? Does Liyan have a brother? Oh my god. Sunset simmer. Let's go. What's with that expression? The smiling person standing before me had a familiar face, one I could never
まさか
forget.
しばらく会わないうちに肉親を忘れたとは言いませんよね。
Please don't tell me you've forgotten your own blood relative just because you haven't seen him in a while. I didn't.
リスト。
List. What is this? Liyan and List? What is this? I saw this guy before. I saw someone playing this route months ago in Japanese. Could you tell that he looked just like Liyan by the hair alone? I feel bad. Hello? Hello? What do you mean? Oh, hello, sir. Look at that. It's List. Ah! Look at that. Oh, he's so beautiful. I forgot to take a screenshot. Ah, I got too distracted. No. Alright, we're on this man's route now, guys. Also, Leah, what happened? One day, during our busy prep for the ceremony coming in 2 months, I asked Liyan to stop by after closing hours so we could discuss our plans.
いやー、まさかこんな時間に女の子の家に呼ばれるなんて。
Wow, I never thought I'd be invited to a girl's house at this time of night.
これはもう俺たちの仲を進める日が来たってことだね。
Whenever you play My Next Life as a Villainess, there's a certain hot side character that you can't date at all. He is so hot. Does he pop up in whose route? Because I only did Keys in the main story. That means this must be the day we take our relationship one step forward. You know, sometimes I feel like I could learn a thing or two from your endless yet futile optimism. Ooh, okay. See, part of me is like, I should just play their routes so I can play the routes, because I don't know when I'm going to actually have time to play the other guy's routes. And I really want to play Silva, because Silva is sexy. Though I never want to copy him. Liyan was the same as always. I gazed at him unimpressed before tilting my head questioningly. Actually, you sure you don't have to take care of your shop? It's still operating hours for Cheers, isn't
優秀
it?
なスタッフが多いからね。俺がいなくても何も問題なし。
My staff are excellent. They work their magic even if I'm not around.
むしろ早く行けって追い出されてきたよ。
In fact, they chased me out and told me to come here as soon as possible. Is that really a good thing? The wrong button. Hit the wrong button.
もし君に誘われてなかったら、今日は一人で祝杯でもあげようとか思ってたとこだしね。
Plus, if you hadn't invited me, my only plan for today was a celebratory drink or two by myself. Celebratory? But did something good happen? No, now that he mentioned it, he was in high spirits. Higher spirits than usual. Liyan seemed to be fishing for that question, and a wide smile softened on his features. How are we right now? This man, like, look at him. What a beautiful man.
昨日、懐かしい人に会ったんだ。
God, I love Liyan
もう
so
会えな
much.
いと思って
Same.
た人に。
I met someone nostalgic yesterday, a person I thought I'd never see
だか
again.
らそれが嬉しくて、昨日もついお酒が進んじゃって。
I was so happy I ended up getting carried away and drinking too much, funnily enough. His eyes were soft and warm as he spoke. He had never seen this expression on him before, and I found everything I'd planned to say unraveling like thread. I wonder who he's talking about. Now that I thought about it, I actually know Liyan for a long time, yet he told me barely anything about his past or his private life. He's the owner of Cheers, a combo general store and pub that has branches in every city. He's a rare fae called a Fenrir, and he actively protects other faes. Finally, he's a flirtatious man who's a bit older and a bit older. That's a nice way of saying a couple hundred years. And occasionally drops by to tease me. I still wish Liyan and Jinya had routes in the first game, and of course in this game we would have after stories for them both. Right? I feel like Liyan would have been an easy one to have. Because, like, if they were flirting or talking, just talking and acting like a normal, like a couple, he could pop up in all of those cities intentionally because he wants to keep an eye on her, and then she would have known he was keeping an eye on her, which he probably was doing to begin with. I mean, they can't just have a character act like Nurse Joy for no reason. And then Jinya's a normal guy. Like, he definitely could have had some more flirtatious moments. It definitely could have been inferred that he had feels for her prior to the end. It could have still had that same normal ending where he gets her to join his team, but with more flirtatious stuff happening. Like, he could have had more CGs. Just saying. Jinya. That's everything I knew about him. Liyan suddenly seemed like a stranger from a completely different world. I was about to open my mouth and ask him who he was referring to, but...
そう、ごめん。俺のことなんか話してる場合じゃないよね。
Sorry, I shouldn't be rambling on about myself.
式典まで2ヶ月しかないし、早速打ち合わせしよっか。
There's only 2 months before the ceremony. Let's dive right into the meeting. Okay. He abruptly changed the subject, and I swallowed my question. I feel like he'll tell me more if I ask. But the last thing I want is for him to get all smug and say, "Oh, do you care that much about me?"
どうしたの？なんか複雑そうな顔してるけど。
What's wrong? You look kind of grumpy. I'm just having a conversation in my head right now. It's nothing. I probably'd have to chance to ask him another day. I took a deep breath, composed myself, and got back on track. After that, the two of us exchanged ideas while talking about various topics surrounding the ceremony. First, managing the numerous shops and stalls from faraway places was an unreasonable task for one person. Thus, we selected a representative to serve as a middleman for each region to facilitate communications. We predicted which areas might get overly crowded and asked for security forces to place extra staff there on the day of. We organized promotional activities and stamp collections to visitors would be incentivized to go to stalls that were further away. One after another, we hashed out ideas ranging from practical ones to ones that'd be nice additions if we had time to realize them. Our conversation grew a lot more exciting than expected.
あ、ウールー便をさ、デリバリーに使うのはどう？
Hey, how does using Wooloo Post as a food delivery service sound?
追加料金を払えば出店から家に直接配達してもらえるとか。
If you pay extra fee, you can get them to deliver food directly from the stall right to your doorstep. That sounds great. You wouldn't have to carry it all with you. As for the name, how does Wooloo eat? Wooloo Eats, a brand name Liyan she said came up with that. That says Leah. That says Leah. She said, how about Wooloo Eats? Came up with for meal delivery services. It's a good reception during... If there's good reception during the ceremony, it might branch out and become a permanent service in all cities. Though the night was no longer young, we still hadn't ran out of things to talk over. You know, I guess I shouldn't have expected anything less from you, Liyan.
何が？
What's that? I've molded over a lot too, but I really am impressed at how you come up with one idea after another without so much as a pause.
俺だけの力じゃないよ。日々周りからヒントをもらってるから。
It's not just my own merits at work. I receive many hints from the people I'm around every day. Hints.
例えば今のアイディアもさ、最近腰を痛めて店に来られないって常連が嘆いてたのを思い出したんだ。
Like that idea just now, for example, a regular was lamenting that they can't stop by as often as they like due to a strained back.
みんながお祭りを楽しんでるのに外に出られないって寂しいでしょ？
Seeing everyone out there enjoying the festival while you can't go out would be miserable.
出店のものを届ければ雰囲気だけでも楽しんでもらえるかなって思ったんだよ。
I figured if we could deliver things from stalls, people could at least enjoy a small part of it and get into the spirit of things. I stopped jotting down notes, my hands steeled, and I stared at Liyan intently. My next words seemed to come out of my mouth on their own accord. You're amazing, Liyan. I really respect you. Liyan?
ごめん。びっくりしすぎてちょっと変な声漏れちゃった。
I was just so surprised.
いや、君が褒めてくれるとは思ってなくて。
I never expected to hear praise like that from you, you know? Don't be like that. When I think someone's awe-inspiring, I always tell them properly, okay?
そうだろうけどさ。ほら、俺にはいつもあんな感じだから。
I know, but it's just that your usual attitude towards me is... That's because you keep saying strange things all the time, Liyan. But all that just now was impressive. I can tell that you truly love bringing joy to others, and it kind of makes me happy.
待って、ちょい待って。そんなにたくさん褒められたら受け止めきれない。
He's blushing. Time out. I can't process you praising me like this.
あ、いや、全部受け止める。でも俺の心が破裂しちゃう。
No, I can process everything, but my heart's gonna burst.
なんかこう、
it's kind of, For once, he seemed shy. A rosy red hint crept across his cheeks. I got the sense that if he were in his giant wolf form that I had seen a while back, his tail would be wagging energetically. Actually, I think I kind of want to see that. Don't say that.
よし。受け止めきった。追加の受け取り準備も OK。
Alright, done. I've processed and accepted it all. I'm also ready to process any extra praise if it's coming. Is it really something to be flustered over? I've only praised you a bit.
そりゃ慌てるし照れるよ。君の褒め言葉は特別だし。
Of course I'm flustered and shy. Praise from you is special after all. I laughed, saying that he was overreacting before resuming our conversation. Give us a CG of his wolf form. I want MC to hug him in wolf form. Asia, be careful what you wish for, okay? Our chat went on and on until the appalled Roddy cut in, giving us a rather exasperated reminder of the time. Listen, I'm listening. I am listening, and that's the problem. One evening a few days later, I visited Cheers to have another meeting with Liyan. Not like Cupid Fandus. There you go. Be more clear. Bark, bark. Business is booming as always, huh? In my opinion, Le Beer was evenly matched with Cheers in terms of food and drink itself. However, we couldn't hold a candle to the nationwide business like Cheers in terms of popularity and fame. Since it happened to be dinner hour, the pub was almost completely full. The staff guided me to an empty table, and as I perused the menu...
はい、みんな、並んで並んで。いい？端から順番に行くよ。
Alright, everyone, make a line. I'm gonna go one by one, starting at the corner. Ready?
右の子から、ジンジャーエール、レモンハイ、ピーチサワーにビール、ファジーネーブル。どう？合ってる？
I literally erased that CG from my memory. I didn't even screenshot that CG from my memory. From the right, we've got ginger ale, lemon highball, peach sour cocktail, beer, and a fuzzy navel. How did I do?
すっごいリアン。よく1回で覚えられるね。
You're awesome, Liyan. You remembered it all in one go. That's... Liyan suddenly appeared at the counter surrounded by women.
まあ、これでもこの仕事してだいぶ長いからね。
Might not seem like it, but I've been working here a long time.
人の顔とオーダーを覚えるのはそこそこ得意だよ。
I'm pretty proud of my ability to remember what everybody usually orders.
リアンって半年ぶりに来てもちゃんと顔覚えててくれるもんね。そりゃリピートしたくなるわ。
You still remember us even if we don't show up for months. No wonder so many people frequent your place.
あんまり店に出てくれないのがちょっと残念だけど。
It's a shame you're not here in person more.
オーナーなんて基本裏方がメインのお仕事だからね。
An owner's duty are mostly behind the scenes after all. I need to delete it from my phone. That's your fault for finding it. Perhaps due to the crowd in the pub, Liyan was completely oblivious to my arrival and continued to attend to his guests. I mean, there's more than an hour before our meetup time, so I was the one at fault for arriving so early. I chose not to call out to him and listen in instead. On that topic, wow, he's surrounded by all kinds of women. I know Liyan's a big flirt, but surely he won't try sweet-talking them all at once, right? No, I had a hunch he actually might. I watched the scene suspiciously, my ears picking up when one particular word was mentioned.
リアンは彼女いないの？
Hey, do you have a girlfriend, Liyan? I was helping myself to the tea that had just arrived and I nearly dropped the cup. For some reason, Liyan's response rang out clearly, even with all the noise and chatter in the background.
いないよ。
Nope, sure don't.
もったいない。だったら私たちと遊ぼうよ。今日は朝まで時間あるし。
What an invitation. Us? Us, not just one. Us. That's such a waste. Fool around with us then. We're free till tomorrow morning.
女の子が軽々しく遊ぼうなんて言っちゃダメだよ。
You ladies shouldn't use the word fool around so casually, alright?
それに、今夜は大事な用があるんだ。お誘いは嬉しいけど、またいつかね。
Plus, I have important business tonight. I'm delighted by your offer, but it'll have to wait for another day.
またそうやってさらっとかわす。リアンいつもそうじゃん。
Fading us as smoothly as ever. That's what you always say, Liyan.
そこはブレないなって褒めてよ。その時々でコロコロ意見変える男よりずっといいでしょ？
You should praise me for my unyielding determination. I'm much better than a fickle man who keeps changing his opinion, right?
それはそうだけどさ。
I guess.
てかそこまで拒否るって実は好きな人でもいるの？
You know, you're pretty tenacious. I think you already like someone.
まあそんなとこ。
Ah, you're not far off.
だからお誘いはありがたいけど、ちょっと答えられないんだよね。
I'm honored by your offer, but I can't really take you up on it.
リアンって見た目に似合わずめっちゃ律儀だし、義理がたいよね。
You know, I think I'd put him in the friend zone, but he is nice. Technically, MC did put him in the friend zone. Maybe even a little bit below the friend zone. I gotta say, you're really faithful and responsible, despite your look.
はあ。ほんと、リアンが私の彼氏だったらよかったのに。
If only you were my boyfriend. I'm not even kidding.
何言ってんの。君、ちゃんと彼氏いるじゃん。
That's total nonsense. You already have a boyfriend.
でも、
Friends.
褒めてくれたお礼に、次来てくれた時に使える割引券あげちゃおっかな。
But as thanks for your wonderful praise, I guess I'll give you a discount coupon and you can use it during your next visit.
商売上手。また来るから、その時も恋愛相談させてよね。
You're a shrewd businessman. I'll drop by again. I hope I can ask your advice about my relationship just like last
もちろん、
time.
いつでも待ってるよ。
Of course, you're always welcome here. After the women paid their bills, Liyan saw them off waving goodbye. I watched him slightly surprised. I assumed he instantly agreed to their offer, but that wasn't the case. Have I misjudged him, maybe? Even when I saw him a few days ago, he hadn't been hitting on a girl in the street, but talking to someone from his orphanage. Now that I was really thinking about it, I struggled to come up with a time I'd seen Liyan flirt with anyone else. Why is that? When he's with me, he's always throwing frivolous comments in my direction, completely ignoring everybody watching us. A certain realization began to take form, and I desperately clung to it at the same
ね
time.
えねえ、聞いてよ、マスター。
Oh, you gotta listen to this. Just after the woman earlier left, a beautiful older one settled at the bar counter and called out to Liyan.
どうしたの？というか、随分と深酒してるみたいだけど、大丈
What
夫？
happened? Oh, it seems like you had a lot to drink. Are you
い
okay?
いのよ、このくらい。どうせ明日もなんにもないし。
Oh, this is nothing. It's not like I have anything planned for tomorrow. Nothing at all.
私、彼に捨てられちゃってね。忘れるためにお酒飲みに来たの。
My boyfriend just dumped me after all. I came here to drink away my trouble.
そっかそっか。傷を癒すのにうちの店を選んでくれるなんてとっても光栄な話だね。
I see. I'm very honored you chose our establishment to nurse your wounds.
そんなお姉さんにはこちらのお酒をどうぞ。
And for you, I have just the right drink. He's like, here's some
これ
water.
は
What's this?
とあるソムリエが失恋した日に泣きながらレシピを作ったって噂のリベラの恋ってカクテルだよ。
I dumped you too, annoying girl. Oh, that's so mean, Muma. It's a cocktail called Libera's Love. People say that a sommelier crafted this recipe while crying the day their heart broke. A cocktail one usually drinks when they get their heart broken. It's very sweet, but with a mixture of herbs and lime, creates a refreshing aftertaste. In cocktail language, it means new encounter.
気まぐれな風の精霊をイメージして新たな出会いの風が吹きますようにって願いを込めたんだって。
The creator apparently took inspiration from whimsical wind spirits and hoped that a breeze would bring new encounters. And hoped the breeze bringing new encounters would blow.
何それ。今の私にぴったりじゃない。
That sounds perfect.
甘いのに後味がすっきりしててうちのスタッフもよく飲んでるんだ。ね、ピモテ君。
Unpopular? Unpopular? Though it's sweet, it leaves a refreshing aftertaste, and my staff drinks it often. Right, my friend? Unpopular?
ちょっとオーナー、俺が失恋するたびに飲んでるのバラさないでくださいよ。
I prefer personality over look. She seems too whiny. But she's also just got her heart broken. She has a right to be a little whiny. She's a little disappointed. Come on, please don't tell other people about how I drink it every time I end up with a broken heart.
だって君月に3回くらい営業後に泣きながらオーダーして朝まで潰れてるじゃん。
It's on you for sobbing while ordering this cocktail after work hours and drinking until you waste it in the morning. Twice a month. Oh god. The sinking mood brightened up and a smile bloomed on the woman's face. Mian's amazing. Dude, as someone working in the same industry, I admire his skills with words as a host. But at the same time, the doubt that had arisen earlier sprouted once more. He's an impressive conversationalist, and his looks are relatively charming. It's alright. He even has plenty of chances to flirt with girls while I'm watching, but he didn't. Suddenly, and without warning.
いや、あんたリアンのことナンパしかなんかだと。
I wonder the impression he's a
誤
pickup
解の
artist?
ないように言っとくけど、フェンリル
We mate for life. The words that Spiri and Liyan had said to me before came to mind. It can't be. I must be wrong. If Lian's flirting with me because he genuinely likes me?
あれ
She's not annoying, but that one girl is annoyed in first game. I forgot her name. But her ass was like, how dare he cheat on me? That wasn't even dating. That bitch throws a bottle out a window and broke something at this place. I'm still annoyed. Oh gosh, what was her name? Faye girl? Faye girl. MC's an idiot. Is that you, Leah? Ah! Run away!
もう店に来てたの？ごめん。俺もしかして待ち合わせ時間勘違いしてた？
I can't blame her. What do you mean you can't blame her? She's literally rude. I didn't see that damn red flag. It was during Pastelia's route. So if you remember the blue-haired guy, it's his route that happened in. You're already here. Sorry, did I mistake our meeting time? Liyan, who had just finished attending to his guest, dashed over with wide eyes. I felt flustered for no apparent reason seeing him approach hurriedly. No, you didn't. You haven't done anything wrong. I happened to have free time earlier than expected, so I figured I'd head over and enjoy a cup of tea while I waited.
それでも君を待たせたのは事実だよ。ごめん。早く気づけばよかった。
Look at this man. He's on his knees for this woman. I made you wait, and that's a fact. Sorry, I should have noticed you earlier. He apologized while biting his lip, frustrated with himself.
というか、愛しい君に気づかないなんて、俺的に一生の不覚。
More importantly, failing to notice my beloved sweetheart is the greatest mistake of my life.
ってことで、テイク2。入店から再スタートしない？
Alright, let's do a retake. In take 2, can you start from entering the pub again? Okay, that's fair. I'm talking about MC misjudging Liyan because in real life, if a guy flirts with you constantly, I would assume he's a fuckboy. That's true. That is true. But she had many clues, and to only piece it together right now is a bit much. Like them going like, oh, you think he flirts with everybody? He does not. We mate for life, bro. That's too much of a bother. No, thank you.
せっかく決め台詞とかプレゼントとか準備してきたのに。
He doesn't deserve the misjudging treatment, but real life, some girls will hate that. That's fair. That is so fair. IRL, I don't know if I would enjoy a guy constantly going, hey sweetheart, hey baby girl. Like, that stuff would be a bit much for me. But if you look like him, I already prepared a smooth opener and a present. A smooth opener.
紅茶をどうぞ、お姫様。隠し味はたっぷりの蜂蜜と俺の愛情です。とか。
Please have some tea, my princess. The secret ingredients are a generous helping of honey and my love. Something like that.
そんな呆れた顔しないで。寂しくなっちゃうから。
Don't look so appalled, please. I'll get really depressed. I like the strong silent type. So you like Eon? He's great. He's a great guy. I'm not. I was just thinking that your secret ingredients aren't so secret.
ごめんごめん。まあ、決め台詞は冗談だけど、プレゼントは本当だよ。
That asks a certain love interest exists and they flirt with me, I won't mind. Sorry, my opener was a joke, but I was serious about the present. After saying he had prepared it especially for me, he slipped behind the counter. I know what this is! A short while later, he returned with what seemed like a small box.
じゃじゃーん！はい、開けてみて。
Da-da-dong! Here, open it. Alright, I'm gonna save that. Hang on, I need that. Hello. Ta-da! Open it. It's not a trap, is it? My heartbeat quickened anxiously, but I carefully opened the box as requested. The next moment, the gentle aroma of roses tickled my nose. Wow! What appeared before me was a vibrant, colorful flower jelly. Red jelly in the shape of a rose was enveloped by a dome of clear jelly. It almost looked like a rose floating in water. The faint floral scent only added to its charm, and I found myself gasping in amazement.
品名はラリアンローズ。遠慮なく召し上がれ、お姫様。
How are you? I am good. I think we're all Gucci, maybe. I don't know. Its official name is La Liyan Rose. Please enjoy to your heart's content, my princess. La Liyan Rose, an appetizer flower jelly that resembles a floating rose. It looks like a jewel and is a elegant, sweet floral scent. Will tickle any maiden's fancy. Amazing, it's so fancy and pretty. Eating it would be a waste.
嬉しい言葉だけど、ちゃんと食べてほしいな。
I'm glad to hear that, but I hope you'll eat it anyway.
紅茶にもよく合うんだよ。今入れるから待っててね。
Goes great with black tea too. I'll make it some right now. Give me a hot second. Thanks. Oh, right. How much will this be?
何言ってるの？これはプレゼントなんだから。
No
お金なんて
way.
取るわけないでしょ？
This is a present. Why would I ever make you pay? I insist. I could tell due to my occupation. I didn't know where he'd purchased this, but the amount of effort invested into this jelly was astounding. If one were to put a price tag on it, it would cost roughly 5 times as much as the dessert we served at Le Bière. My waitress spirit would never let me receive such an item for free. Seeing my tenacious insistence, Liyan was a bit taken aback. He then shrugged.
じゃあこうしよう。
How about this?
次に俺がリーベルへ行った時、君お手製のスイーツを一つサービス。これでトントンってことで。
The next time I head to Le Bière, I want you to make a dessert especially for me on the house. That'll make things even. Though I still felt the exchange was awfully imbalanced, I doubt Liyan would concede now that he had his mind set on something. Okay, got it. I'll prepare something relatively fancy too.
よかった。それじゃ熱いうちに召し上がれ。
I hope he means the coffee or the tea, not the drink, not the dessert. Awesome. Well then, please eat it up while it's still steaming hot. It's jelly. I don't think it's supposed to be hot at all.
いやいや、君の俺に対する恋の炎が熱いうちにって意味で。
No, I mean hot as in while your flames of passion for me are still steaming hot. I don't think those are hot at all either. I repeated the same response before carrying a spoon of jelly to my mouth with a smirk. Oh, she's so cute! Due to the nature of my work, I'd eaten all kinds of sweets and I had some confidence in my palate. Even someone like me could boldly declare that this dessert was a masterpiece. The outer jelly is deliberately refreshing and subtle in taste. When I only ate the surrounding clear jelly, it felt a bit lacking, but perhaps to balance that, the inner rose had a rich, powerful flavor. Depending on the amount of each I scooped, for each bite, a completely different taste melted on my tongue. Thanks to that, it's really easy to eat. I think I could even recommend this to people who aren't fond of sweet things.
さすが君なら分かってくれると思ってたよ。
Cute, I love him. He's so pretty. I can't remember the last time I was hydrated, but at least I know I'm being hydrated. Look at him. You're the best, Leah. I knew you'd understand its intricacies after eating it.
内側に到達したところでやっとこのゼリーの本当の味がわかる。そんなイメージで作ったんだ。
Oh, my bag again. Kinda. It's my elbow. I made it with one concept in mind. You'll only know the true taste of this jelly after you arrive at its center. It's just like Liyan, or so I almost said, but I caught myself before those careless words slipped out. I might have this as my laptop wallpaper. It's beautiful. My laptop wallpaper is art made by the wonderful Palm. Instead, I could only ask one thing. Did you just say you made it yourself?
うん。君が来るって聞いたから腕によりを振るってね。
Yeah, I knew you were coming, so I invested all of my skill and heart into it. Aww. Wait, this is your cooking? She said it so mean. Cheers had a few items that were specially made by Liyan, so I knew he could cook, but still. I missed a 30 mark, so another will be coming up. He looks like Misty. Don't you dare insult Liyan like this. I never knew you could even make dessert.
おつまみの方が得意だし、普段はあんまり作らないんだけどね。
Snacks and side dishes are more of my specialty. I don't usually make sweets.
特別な相手に喜んでもらいたいって思いながら作るのは楽しいよ。
But it's fun whipping one up while hoping that it'll make a special someone smile. Liyan grinned, then peered into my face. He looks like Monsieur. That is not an insult. I like Monsieur. I don't. I think I get where you're coming from. When I made pancakes for the first time, my heart was pounding and I wondered what everyone's expressions would be.
うんうん。やっぱり食べた相手の反応って気になるよね。
Exactly. It's hard to not be curious about the reaction of someone eating your homemade food. Right. That face. Look at her.
Hmm?
It's kind of tough to eat when you're drilling holes into me with your eyes. By the time I realized Liyan had leaned in closer with a brilliant grin. He looks like he thinks she's delicious. He does think she's delicious. Oh no, I think his eyes look like he's in love. He's got lovey-dovey eyes. Anyone would agree he was close, but he kept enough distance that I wouldn't push him away. I didn't know how to
減
react.
るものじゃないんだし、むしろ増えるくらいなんだから見るくらい許して。
I am also looking at him like he's delicious. Is it? I thought it helped. Can I keep watching you? What could watching me even help with?
もちろん俺の幸せと。
My mood, of course.
食べてる時に限らず、君を見てる時間はいつも楽しいし、幸せな気分になれるんだよ。
Any time spent watching you is fun, not only when you're eating, my happiness just wells up. Really? After a conversation that made me extremely conflicted on how to respond, I finished the jelly without incident. Then we officially got down to business, but if I were honest, I struggled to give my full attention to my decision. It was all because a vague suspicion I had was finally being fleshed out. Liyan didn't flirt with everyone, he only acted like that way with me. With that knowledge, even just looking at him made me restless.
どうしたの？顔赤いし、口数も少なくない？
I didn't lose my mind, but now I'm about to say a lot of stuff about this man. Alright. Is it a paragraph? Is it gonna take up the entire screen over here? Is something wrong, Leah? Your face is all red and you've been oddly quiet.
もしかして体調悪い？
Are you
それなら
feeling
また
ill?
後日に。
In that case, can we meet up at we can meet up at a later date. I'm fine. I have one request.
うん、何でも言って。君の頼みならどんなもの
Tell
で
me.
も。
If it's for you, I'm willing to do anything. If possible, don't look at me. And be quiet. Don't talk.
俺がここにいる意味は？
Why am I even here then? A special someone, huh?
特別な相手に喜んでもらいたい。 って思いながら。
Oddly, those words lingered in my mind. Why was I acting like this? Until only a short while ago, Liyan hadn't stirred up any emotions in my heart. But now talking with him like this made me happy. I was confused. After that, though, we were busy being shy, nervous, and flustered. We continued our discussion until we had worked through the items on the day's agenda. In one corner of Cheers, the pair were busily engaged in their discussion, while through the window a certain shadow watched them from afar. This shadow, this man,
人間か。
a human. I see. This man was the same blood as Liyan running in his veins.
それではダメなんですよ、リアン。
That will not do, Liyan. Only left behind a few words before slowly disappearing into the hustle and bustle of the
その
street.
先に未来なんてない。ただ、不幸になるだけです。
There's no future down such a path. You will only find misery. Okay, alright, we have Asia's very big wall of text. Wonderful, wonderful. I want to fucking marry him right now. I want to fuck him. I want to kiss his cheek, his lips, his hands, his chest, his everything. I will cook for him every day of my life. I want to sleep next to this man. I want a plushie of him. I need a poster of him. I'm done. Okay. Well, you know what? That was pretty mild, all things considered. We'd finally arrived at the busiest prep stage of the ceremony. I like your energy. I was rushing about the city, securing space for stalls and organizing equipment. Then one day... What's next? I'll meet up with Liyan first before meeting with the Merchants Association president. Then I'll hiccup. Then I'll return to the castle to arrange lighting and audio equipment. Looks like it's yet another hectic day. I couldn't even make time for a little rest. Honestly, if it weren't for Liyan's help, I clearly would have been so busy that I wouldn't have even had time to sleep. Liyan has his own shop to attend to. His schedule should be even fuller than mine. But he's still helping out. I need to thank him again after the ceremony. Throw it in the simp channel. That's right, it's called Thirsty, by the way. It's not called simp. It's Thirsty. We do have a Discord. Yeah, the Discord is for all the thirst. I'm excited. If we get enough of it, we could totes turn it into a whole thing. It also has a warning because it's age restricted, so children can't be thirsty, just to be clear. He's still helping out. I need to thank him after the ceremony. My mind wandered absent-mindedly to Liyan as I waited for his arrival in front of Labir, and suddenly...
失礼。少しよろしいですか?
Excuse me, may I have a moment of your time? An unfamiliar man called out to me. May I ask for your name? I believe this is the first time we've met. Yes?
ええ。直接会うのは初めてです。弟は世話になっているようですが。
Indeed, it is our first time seeing each other in person. My brother seems to have been in your care, though. He straightened his spine before giving me a sincere smile. Brother.
申し遅れました。
If you can't
俺
tell
は
who
リ
his
スト。
brother is, you're...
種族は幻獣フェンリルです。
Are there children in this Discord? I will try to be more mindful of that. What I say, there's no children in the Discord. But it's more of like a warning. Like, hey, this is if you're at work, don't be on this channel. But there could be. I don't think there's any kids, though. My apologies. For the late introduction, I am List. I am of Fenrin race, of Fabies. Wait, if you're Fenrin, you must be...
君のよく知るリアンは俺の弟です。
Yes, my younger brother is someone you know very well, Liyan. You're Liyan's elder brother? Liyan's older brother, a gentle, laid-back person who talks in a polite manner.
弟から話は聞いていますよ。
Yes, you are Leah. Yes, my brother has told me about you.
何でもうちの弟がいろいろ迷惑をかけているとか。
I hear he's been causing you a lot of trouble. Now that he mentioned it, List did share many similarities with Liyan. Their features were alike, but their aura was different from Lian's cheery one. I could tell List was a composed man just by looking at him. He felt like a calm ocean, a very peaceful and mild-mannered person. Not at all. In fact, he has been a great help recently. I plan on collaborating with him in the future too. Though, if I were to be honest, he had often caused me trouble until a short while ago, or rather, I'd often been stumped by him.
ありがとうございます。人を褒めるのがお上手ですね。
There aren't any children. I think I'm the closest one to that. Yeah, Prim's the baby. Thank you. You're an excellent at praising others, I see. Oh no, I am not.
ですが、嬉しくはないですね。人間の言葉に信じる価値などありませんから。
Unfortunately, that isn't enough to appease me. The words of a human are never worthy of trust. Huh? What did he just say?
それではまたいずれ。俺としてはできるならもう会いたくないですけどね。
Well then, see you later, though I'd rather that not come to pass. A benign smile remained on his face as he spoke. I was thrown off kilter, my reaction delayed. Before I could ask him what the meaning was behind his words, he had already turned his back on me and left. He was being snide just now, right? Girl, do you actually understand that? His expression and tone had been polite, so my brain was struggling to process it. I could tell something akin to animosity had spread out from behind his words, slipping past his kindly facade. Bitch, ooh, I like him. Any guy that's like, I hope we never meet again, I'm like, I can't wait to see that guy again. It's the first time we met. Did I say something rude? I reflected on my actions, unease festering in my chest, and then...
リスト？こんなところで何してるの？
List, what are you doing here? Lian's familiar voice came to me from a distance.
ああ、リアン。街を見ながら宿を探していたんですよ。アーテイルは久々なので。
Prim is a masochist. Blue, how are you? Liyan, I was admiring the city and looking for lodging. It was just been a while since my last visit to Arthier.
なんだ、それならうちに泊まれば。一応慣れ親しんだ我が家でしょ？
Not surprised. It's disgustingly hot here. Ooh, how hot is it? We haven't done a temperature check recently. Let's do it. Weather, what is the weather? What is weather today? Let's see. It is 43 degrees Celsius. And for everyone else, that is 110 degrees Fahrenheit. That is the high, which means it's at its high right now. It is 2 in the afternoon. Oh, man. 95 degrees. Look at you. Look at you, 15 degrees lower than me. I'd shove myself in the freezer. Honestly, like, it's so bad. You go outside and then you go inside and then your skin just feels warm for like 30 minutes. You just feel the warmth. Also, Blue, are you getting this game? Did you know? Did you know, Blue? Did you know that Alice has a mini route in this game? How about you stay at my place? It's technically our good old family home after all.
いいのですか？
Is that alright?
もちろん。鍵も昔のままだしね。俺は用事でしばらく開けちゃうけど、行って適当に休んでていいよ。
Of course. We still even use the same key. I won't be home for a while due to some business, but feel free to hang out there.
ありがとうございます。せっかくですし、久々に皿洗いや接客でもしていましょうか。
I haven't played a Tomy in a while. What? Blue, no, you have to play. You have to make time. I know it's hard. Start streaming if you gotta. Thank you. I suppose I should take this opportunity to wash dishes and attend a guest for the first time in a long time.
それは心強いな。
He'll be great help.
それじゃあ詳しくはスタッフに聞いて。 俺の兄って言えば伝わるだろうし。
Alright, go ahead and ask the staff for details. Just let them know that you're my bro. That should be enough. Judging by the conversation I overheard, they were close. List's voice didn't hold a shred of contempt he aimed at me earlier. This contrast was what made the earlier scene wedged into my heart like a knife. I felt it twist sadistically. Why did he act like that then? Just as my heart sank, bright and happy footsteps approached me.
お待たせ。
Girl, you need to see Jinya's sexy ass CG. Oh my god. My backlog keeps growing. That's fair. That's so fair. Here, I'm going to show you the CG. Because I'm never not down to look at this man. Like, look at this man. Look at him. Look at him. Appreciate this man. I also even brought Burshihana. Technically, I did too. I was actually talking about how I have that and I haven't played it yet. It's just right here. It's just here being a game. I need to try these Otome games, but I think it just seems so fun because I get to chat with all of y'all. Nice. I mean, the good thing is, with some games, there's some games where there's so many different choices, and I'm like, I need to go back and make all the different choices. The nice thing with these ones is they're shorter, so it's not so intense, I guess. Sorry for the wait, Leah.
ごめんごめん。実はすぐそこで。
Sorry about that, I actually meant...
ってどうしたの？
Are you okay? Huh?
なんかすごい暗い顔してるけど、俺が来るまでに何かあった？
You have a really gloomy look on your face. Did something happen? Well, I started to speak then stopped. A part of me wanted to tell the details of what just happened, but I wasn't sure I should. I feel like, okay, honesty is the best policy, but this is hard. This one's hard. I think I forgot the 30-minute mark. Is brother gonna cock block us? I think so. That or he's gonna eat us. Either is fine. I am fine if the brother eats us. It's okay. You were talking to Liz just now, weren't you? What? When I said the name, Liyan blinked in surprise. Yeah, what? I mean, I'm fine. If he wants to eat me alive, he can do that. I wanted Zeus to eat me. Lian's brother, List, can eat me. I'm fine. Where's your head right now? Prim, where is your head? Girl, you're talking in third person.
そうだけど、なんで君がリストの名前を？
Yeah, but how did you know his name? I met him earlier and we had a chat and he said he was your older brother. But for some reason he doesn't seem to like me very much.
どういうこと？
What do you mean? He said he hopes he never meets me again. Leon's face grew tense by the second as I described my earlier encounter. When I finally finished telling him my story, he cast his eyes down, quiet.
そっか。リストが。ごめんね。気が回らなくて。
He also said you can't trust humans, which is fair, but also like, what the heck? He doesn't even know me. I see, so List, sorry, I should have been more attentive. No, it might have been my fault for saying something that upset him. It's not something you should apologize for.
いや、それは違うよ。
No, that's not the case. Liyan continued to look down, guiltily whispering in a low voice.
まず一つ言っておくけど、リストがそんな態度を取ったのは君の対応のせいじゃない。
Attitude wasn't because of anything you did.
多分あいつは今も昔のことを引きずってるんだ。
That guy probably still can't get over what happened in the past. In the past? Can you tell me? He's like, yeah, a human punched him in the arm one time and then said, you suck, and then ran away. And it was after he said he was the coolest guy he ever met, and he was really upset about that. What kind of incident would lead him to dislike me, a stranger? For a moment, Liyan hesitated, unsure whether or not to answer. Eventually, he shook his head weakly before speaking with resignation.
そうだね。君にはちゃんと話しておくね。
Yeah, I should tell you. Okay.
俺とリストのこと。それから人間とフェンリルの関係のこと。
I'll tell you about List and me as well as the relationship between humans and Fenrir. Okay. My stomach just growled so loud. It'd be funny if that picked up on the mic. This is a story set in the past, but not long ago. I had 3 family members back then. My father, the shopkeeper of Cheers, the general goods store and pub he inherited from my grandfather. Wait. I had a thought. I have to share it before it happens. Is this the story of Inuyasha? Is this the story of Inuyasha? Is his brother is List Sesshomaru, and he is Inuyasha, and he's a half Fenrir, and his brother's like a full Fenrir, and he hates humans, and he doesn't hate humans. Get it? It matches. And they turn into puppies. Oh, they turn into puppies. Oh my god. Sesshomaru. Well, if you love Sesshomaru, you will love List. List hates people. I just did a cosplay of Kikyo, so this is great. Perfect. Wonderful. I don't know about being reincarnated, but, you know, just that part plucked. My mother, a sickly but warm person who always supported my father right by his side because she's human. Say it. Say she's human. Finally lists my older brother with a deep compassion for his family and boundless kindness. I also just realized something. We switched games. I did move the camera to the other side though. Hang on. Move that right over here. So then you can see all the font. I was like, where are you going with this? But I can see it now. Yeah. Sesshomaru hates people. He hates the girl, and they're both dog people. And the white hair is not necessary. That's why Liyan doesn't have white hair. But he does have dark hair, which means he's half people. Wait a second. Hang on. Does he not have white hair because he's half person? He's half person. We'll find out. List my older brother with a deep compassion for his family and boundless kindness. The 4 of us split the work. I swear to God you said there was 3 of you. I had 3 family members. Okay, fair enough. 3 family members, not 3 people. The 4 of us split the work and visited Cheers branches, managing whichever fell under our responsibilities. Thinking back, that was the most peaceful part of my life. I spent my days learning alongside List. We were taught management from our father and cooking from our mother. Those mundane days surrounded by my warm, gentle family would last forever. At least that's what I thought. But those ordinary days everyone takes for granted always have an end. Around 20 years ago, my mother's chronic illness grew more severe and she ended up recuperating at Cheers Arthier's branch. But rest didn't do her any good, and soon she breathed her last breath and passed away as easily as if she had just fallen asleep. Lord Sesshomaru has always been my boo. They did him dirty in Yashihima. And he wasn't trying to be with Ren. He was stepdad, and we were supposed to become the stepmom, right? I felt weird about that, only because he met her as a child. Again, that's why I have weird thoughts about Roddy. Like, you don't introduce them as children and then say, now you're gonna date her. Now kiss. That's no. If she was human, the 100% max, she was 100. I don't think she was human. Sadly, I don't think it's complete Sesshomaru and Inuyasha. But that'd be funny, though. If he's all like, she died from an illness called aging. I remember the day my mom died as if it were yesterday. List and I could only fight back tears. I remember my father's back clearly. He seemed so small, stricken with grief. There's something I want to explain so everything makes more sense. Farrens cherish our pack and value our family ties much more than humans can imagine. It's to the extent that some say Farron's family's affection isn't rational, but some being deeply rooted in our instinct. He's gonna say his dad died, isn't he? She grew too crusty and turned to ash. Oh man. The saying goes that Farron who lose their mates will perish within half a year. No exception. Of course, the time frame isn't exact, but to this day, no Farron has escaped that pattern. I'm sure you can predict the rest of the story now. Right after my mom passed away, my father collapsed and fell into eternal sleep. Naturally, having lost my parents, I was drowning in grief and sadness every day, even if it wasn't to my father's extent. But my brother List supported me through the toughest
泣か
time.
ないでください、リアン。
Don't cry, Liyan.
父さんたちも言っていたでしょ。祖父から受け継いだこのチアーズを守れたのは家族
Remember
のお
what our
かげ。
parents said? It is thanks to our family that we managed to protect grandfather's cheers to this
この
day.
チアーズこそ我々家族が生きていた証だと。
Cheers is proof that our family existed in this world.
なら俺たちのすべきことはもう分かっているはずです。
What is our duty then? I am sure you already know. And so Liz took over Cheers' ownership. As for me, I ran around serving as the manager of Cheers branches to support Liz. Time passed and my trauma from our parents' death finally began to heal. One day List summoned me and suddenly said
実
this.
は大事な人ができたんです。
I have a confession to make. I found my precious someone. If the target of his affection were Fenrin, things would have been simple, but my brother beloved was a normal human who wasn't significant or special. And that was probably the beginning of the tragic story in List's eyes. So it was a relationship between different races, but why is that a tragedy? Well, Fenrin lived for hundreds of years. How long do you? I know they're few, but I've seen a good number of such couples.
まあね。でも人と結ばれる幻獣の多くはあまり力の強くない種族だから。
I'll have you know, I'm married to a dragon in a different universe. Same, but most of the Fae that end up with humans come from races that aren't too powerful. Liyan seemed awkward and chose his words carefully.
だけどドラゴンをはじめ超越した力を持つ幻獣の多くは人を避けて暮らすことが多い。
The problem is that many Fae with extraordinary powers live in isolation away from humans like dragons, for example.
彼らが加減なしに力を使えば人間は恐れで動くこともできなくなる。本能的な恐怖はどうしようもない。
And yet we pulled Vilio. Yeah, we pulled that man out of a hat. He fought us, but we got him. If they use their powers without restraint, humans might be paralyzed with fear. No one can truly fight instinctive panic.
俺たちフェンリルもそう。ドラゴンほどじゃないけど、人では叶うはずのない
It
力
took
があ
a
るか
bit.
ら。
Yeah, we just had to get infected with a disease that was going to kill us in an instant for him to be like, I do love you. And then we caught that man. Hook, line, and sinker, everyone. So easy. That's the case for us Fenrin too. We aren't as impressive as dragons, but we possess powers that humans could never rival. Yeah, you.
俺の家族は幻獣を保護する店を託されてたからね。他のフェンリルはめったに里から出てこないよ。
My family's entrusted with a store that offered protection to Fae, so we're special. Other Fenrins rarely leave our village.
波の幻獣じゃかなわない力を持つから彼らを保護する立場でいられる。
Due to our
でもだから
power
こそ
greater than normal
俺
Fae,
たちは慎重だった。
we can maintain our status as guardians, but because of that, we're more cautious.
そのはずだったのにリストは恋をしてしまったから。
It's like fishing, and Vilio's like a shark, and we caught him with a butterfly net, which is why it was so painful. At least you're supposed to be, but List fell in love.
人の姿で人のふりをして彼女のそばにいた一心で自分が何者かを隠したまま。
And then she cheated on him. I assume. He pretended to be human in more ways than just looks. With an earnest wish to stay by her side, he hid his true identity. A few years went by after List entered a relationship with the girl he loved. I told him that he should tell her the truth before he was forced to reveal it one day, but he must have been scared. List dragged his feet in taking that step forward until one day. He accompanied her on a trip to the forest on the outskirts of town to collect medical herbs. They came across a fiend by pure chance. He wasn't able to defend her in his human form, and they couldn't escape. And driven into a corner, List's only choice was to fight in his feminine form. He easily eliminated the fiend with his overwhelming power, but the moment he turned around to face her, what awaited him wasn't the relieved face of his beloved, but these two words.
Bakemono!
Bakemono! That's one word. Bakemono is just monster. Okay, but like show us his wolf form. That costs too much money. They're just gonna outline Liyan's wolf form. Liyan narrated List to pass in a matter-of-fact tone. I was speechless. I could only stand there motionless.
彼女が悪いわけじゃない。せめて先に打ち明けていたら違っていたかもしれない。
It wasn't her fault. If he had at least told her beforehand, things might have gone differently. Yeah, but you only told me because I'm assuming Roddy told him to do it. Hey, Roddy's like, yeah, listen, she found out I can transform into a person and she's acting weird. Could you show her that you can transform into a dog and maybe she'll even it out?
運も悪かったんだ。だけど、リストにとって彼女の言葉は致命的だった。
You should tell her before something happens. Something similar happened in a different way. Flashback to Snow White Ash's demo. God. Stop it, Asia. I haven't played the new demo, okay? They had bad luck to blame, but to List, her words were fatal. They were a race with a deep affection. The death of their mate was enough to make their health decline and lead to their own demise. Such a person was denounced by his beloved. It must have caused a much greater wound than a human like me could imagine.
それ以降、リストは行方をくらませて、チアーズにも戻ってこなかった。
Play it soon, it's good. I might play that one game I talked about on the Discord, and then that at the same time. We'll see. After that, List disappeared. He didn't even come back to Cheers. And that's how you ended up inheriting Cheers in the end, right? Cheers, a hybrid pub and general store that can be found in every city. It was ran by the Farron brothers, List and Liyan, until a decade ago, since List disappeared. Liyan has been watching over Cheers by himself.
そう。もう10年も前の話だけどね。
Yep, a decade's already passed. If my husband turned into a wolf one day, I'ma still fuck him when he goes back to human form, but I would have questions like the whole time? Like the whole time. Like this entire time when I was like, I want a dog, and you said we can't have a dog. You could have just been both. I could have had both. Like, he looked at the sky, eyes distant before letting out a small sigh.
だから、リストとはもう二度と会えないと思ってた。
That's why I thought I'd never see List again.
フェンリルの性質を考えれば、自ら命を絶つ可能性もあったから。
We have huskies. See? Considering the nature of Fenris, there was a chance he might have died of heartbreak. I see, so that's why Liyan was so overjoyed when he had met someone nostalgic. List was the only family he had left. I'd once locked my heart away due to trauma of losing my parents too, even if I wasn't a Fenrir. I'm saying that wrong every time, by the way. I knew the pain of the grief that came from losing family. After his explanation, I also gained a rough understanding of List's hostility towards me. It must be because I'm a human.
ね、分かったでしょ。君のせいじゃないってことが。
See, it's not your fault at all.
不快にさせちゃって悪いけど、できればもう気にしないでほしい。
I'm sorry about the discomfort he caused you. Please don't take it to heart.
ほら、やることだってたくさんあるし、余計なことを考えてる暇はないしね。
I mean, we've got lots to do, and we don't have time to be distracted by unimportant stuff. I guess. He had a point, but I didn't want to dismiss it as unimportant either. My words faltered. Liyan smiled slightly As if to emphasize his point.
リストはそんな経緯があって人間嫌いになったわけだけど、昔はそうじゃなかったからさ。
I don't know how to describe what I just heard other than it sounded like a dog's tail wagging, but there's no dog in this room, so I was like, what just happened? Would you prefer to have a love that you met as a human and found out that they could be a pet later, or a pet that you learn he has a human form and date him then? I would prefer the first, honestly. I don't want to date my pets. But that's a great point. What a great distinction between Roddy and Liyan. This experience led to his prejudice against humans, but he wasn't like this before.
だから今回のお祭り
No
は
dating pets. Yeah,
結
don't
構
pick
い
a
い
pet.
機会だと思ってるんだ。
That's why I think the upcoming festival is a pretty good opportunity.
人間も幻獣も関係なく、楽しく仲良く騒いで夜を明かして。
That's like my fur child. That's too weird, yeah. No matter what race you are, we can all have fun and party happily all night long.
そしたら、リストの心にも何か響くかもしれない。
Maybe that'll strike a chord in List's heart. Yeah, maybe. Immediate change might be impossible, but I hope it'll be a small step forward. I knew very well that Liyan's words were mere consolations to cheer me up. Cough, cough, cheek, cough, cough. Oh no! Here, I was thinking Roddy. That's so fair. That's the same voice actor. It's fine. I couldn't stay down forever, and I raised my head. For now, we need to focus on what's in front of us, right?
その息その息。
Yep, that's the spirit.
というか、長く話しすぎちゃった。急いで小会長さんのとこ行かないと。
Oh, we talked for too long. We need to hurry over and meet the merchant associate president. Oh, right, we gotta hurry. Quick, turn into a dog and let me ride on your back. See? I gently nudged Leah's back, ushering her forward. But on the inside, I let out a sigh and cursed my own misjudgment.
まずったな。ここまで話すつもりはなかったんだけど。
She and Roddy have a lot of similarities, maybe too much. We never slept with Roddy in a half Roddy Rolita form, okay? So far. I messed up. I never planned on spilling that many details to her. I'd known right from the start that she was the kind of girl who'd worry her head off if she heard our story. What I should have done was make up something on the spot and tell her not to worry. Despite that, I still told her everything, and I knew why. Some part of me wanted Leah to listen. Part of me wanted her to know about me, about my family.
一緒にいることが増えて欲張っちゃったかな。
We've been together more often lately. I guess I got too comfortable, huh?
ともかく、後でリストとは本気で話し合わなきゃ。
In any case, I need to have a serious discussion with List later. I stole a glance at Leah. Though a smile was plastered over her face, distress still leaked through.
もうこれ以上、彼女にあんな顔をさせないために。
I need to talk to him so that she never has to make this expression again. Dun dun. Dun dun. Dun dun. Oh, I thought that'd be the end of the chapter. I was getting ready to put timestamps in. The heck game? Sometime later, a meeting with Liyan and Leah ended without incident. Afterwards, he brought his brother to a quiet back alley away from the bustle of the festival and gave him a stern glare.
わざわざ人気のない場所まで来て、一体どんな話があるんです？
I see, okay. I was like, why is his hand longer? I guess it's because his is bent. Interesting, interesting. Now then, you took me all the way to a deserted place like this. What in the world do you wish to talk
と
about?
ぼけないで。あの子のことだよ。
Don't play dumb. It's about Leah.
ああ、あの人間の娘ですか。
The human girl. I see.
別に変なことはしていませんよ。ただ思ったままを伝えただけです。
I've done nothing wrong. I only spoke my honest thoughts.
人間の言葉など信じる価値はないとね。
This is the part where I first listened. I was like, who is this man? Localize this game. And you didn't think they looked exactly the same? I mean, they stole his face for that other face. It's the same face, just different hair. I'm just gonna pretend Peter and Chi are completely different entities from Jupiter. Why? Jupiter's worse. The words of a human never deserve any faith, nothing more.
それが変なことなんだよ。
That counts as something out of line. Liyan pointed an accusing finger at his brother, tempers flaring.
二度とそういうこと言わないで。リストが昔のことを引きずっていて、人間を信じられないのはわかる。
I like how Jupiter looks. Jupiter and Peter look the same. A little different. Never say that again. I understand that your scars from the past haven't healed and you can't trust humans.
だけどそれをあの子にぶつけるのは違う。
Taking it out on Leah is wrong.
俺はお前のことを思って言っているんですよ。
I said those words because I want what's best for you.
人生の先輩として、可愛い弟が自分と同じ失敗をしないようにね。
As your elder brother, I need to make sure my cute little brother doesn't make the same mistakes I did. Liyan closed his mouth, but his gaze only grew sharper. List wasn't shaken at all and continued to speak.
人間を愛するというのは諸刃の剣です。
Is this gonna turn into a 2-for-1 deal? Not in this game. Not likely. I don't think we get a date List and Liyan. I think that'd be funny. I just realized he has tattoos. They're hidden under his collar because his collar's pinned shut. They really did steal his entire body. He's just the same person. Just love for a human is a double-edged sword.
恋の刃は強ければ強いほど自分に返ってきたとき取り返せない致命傷を負う。
If your love is strong enough, it will leave a fatal wound, one beyond the point of no return when it strikes back at you.
思いを拒絶されれば死んでしまおうと思うほどに。
It is so painful that when your feelings are met with rejection, you want to die.
そんなこと分かってる。俺だってフェンリルなんだ。
I know that. I'm a Fenrir just like you, but...
いいえ、分かるはずありません。まだ本気で恋をしたことのないお前には。
They look like they're the same height. You can see that line where their head is, so it looks about right. They do have different poses, though, because at first I thought their arms were different lengths, which I thought was weird, but they're the same length. Little goth boy. You wouldn't know. You haven't fallen in love with all your heart yet.
俺はあの一件の後、しばらくオリエンスにいましたが、あの街を見て確信しました。
After that incident, I stayed in Odense for a while, and observing that city has confirmed my thoughts.
人間の言う恋なんて、所詮は代用が効くものでしかない。
List is mean. You should have told that girl about who you really are, but you didn't. Yeah, but also think of that scenario. Imagine you're backed into a corner with this hot dude. I don't know what he looks like when he was pretending to be human, by the way. And then that hot dude turns into a wolf in front of you to save your life. And then your next word is Bakimoto. Like, I don't know if I'd go there. It's not good to keep secrets. So true, so true. The so-called love humans speak of is nothing but a commodity that can be replaced when necessary.
誰も彼もが真実の愛などと言いつつ、気づけばすぐ次の愛にうつつを
Every
抜
single one
か
of
す。
them speaks of true love, but in the next moment they immediately find a new object for their
人間と
infatuation.
はいい加減で不誠実で嘘つきな生き物なんですよ。
Humans are irresponsible, unfaithful, and dishonest beings.
それも人のあり方だよ。
That is part of human nature.
フェンリルと感覚が違うのは当たり前だ。違う生き物なんだから否定するようなことじゃない。
Like if you date somebody for years and on your wedding, that's when you reveal that they're a murderer. When you say it like that, Prim, it almost sounds like that's because they're there for your money and they're gonna kill you now. I mean, who we killing though? Yeah, see, look at that. That's a perfect response. Baby boy got hurt and now hates everyone. That's about right. That's so goth. He's so goth. It's natural that their worldviews are different from us Verins. They're a different race and we should respect that.
やれやれ。すっかり人間の感覚に染まっているようですね。
I understand, but if he loves that girl so much, he should have told her. Plus, that's a normal reaction for humans. Exactly. I feel like, what was the point of hiding it? Like, the phase, maybe if he knew she doesn't like phase, this could be a whole thing too. What if he knew she didn't like phase? I just realized I need to also switch the bars because the bar's now in front of me. I'm so bad at streaming. Alright. If she doesn't like phase, what if he knows? She's like, I don't like dating phase. I only want to date a human. And so he decides to pretend to be human to get her to love him. Then I could totally understand that reaction. She's like, oh my god, you're the thing I hate the entire time. But like, I don't know. I'm also not her. And she's allowed to feel however she wants to feel. Especially if you've been dating the same person for multiple years. And after multiple years, that's how you find out that he's not human. Like, oh my god, imagine. Imagine you're with someone for that long. And that's how you find out. Not because they wanted to tell you. Because that happened. Like, she could, yeah, there's so many ways she could have felt like that reaction was met with. Like, it seems that you have completely lost yourself to the values of humans.
早く目を覚ましてください。あのような人間と仲良くしてもいいことなんて何もないんですから。
Please wake up already. Even if you get along with humans like that, nothing good will come out of it.
人間なんてくくりで決めつけるな!
Don't make assumptions just because someone is a human. Liyan raised his voice in anger and grabbed List by the collar.
彼女は俺の恩人だ。あの子がいたから今の俺がいる。
I owe a lot to Leah. I'm only here today because of her. Go on. What the hell did she do?
俺にとって大事な人なんだ。
She's someone precious to me.
リストだって昔は恋人のことすごく嬉しそうに話してて。
You used to talk about your love as if she was the best thing that happened to you.
黙りなさい。
Silence.
そんなもの、まやかしに過ぎないんですよ。
Such illusions will only lead you astray. Did they put all their budget in creating another character for him instead of putting more CGs in for Liyan?
お前の言う恩人とやらも、フェンリルの恐ろしさを知らないだけです。
Okay, so first off, she knows he can turn into a Fenrir. And now you're like, she's unaware, thus, that's why. And I'm like, bro, this so-called demon you owe so much to only maintains her composure because she is oblivious to the fearsome side of the Fenrir.
何も知らないから、あのように接していられるんですよ。
Her ignorance is the lone reason you can act in such a manner around you. List's speech broke off there and he pulled his gaze off Liyan. Then he looked further down the alley over his younger brother's shoulder, his lips curled into a twisted smile.
なんなら本人に聞いてみましょうか。
Shall we ask the human in question her opinion?
はあ。
What? Am I there? Am I just standing there watching this happen?
人間なんてくくりで決めつけるな!
He's really pissed me off. Bro, it's your fault. You didn't tell your girl. On my way home after reporting back to the castle, a certain voice perked my ears. What was that? The faint voice coming from the back alley had a biting tone to it, as if engaged in a heated argument. Roddy had always warned me against poking my nose into things, but feigning ignorance and walking away didn't seem right either. If it's a fight, I can't let it escalate. I'll throw my body between them, my fragile body. I'll just take a peek from the back here. If it's really a brawl, I'll leave and report it to security forces right away. Keeping my breathing as quiet as possible, I peered into the alley in question. There I saw...
何も知らないから、あのように接していられるんですよ。
Her ignorance is the lone reason she can't act in such a manner around you. Over there, it's Liyan and Liz. The mood seemed too tense for a conversation between brothers. Taken by surprise, I froze. List's eyes suddenly met mine.
なんなら、 本人に聞いてみましょうか。
Shall we ask the human in question her opinion?
は
What? A wind blew in my direction as List spoke. Perhaps it was some kind of spell. The next thing I knew, List was standing before me, lips curling
飛
slightly.
んで火にいるなんとやらですね。偶然にしてはいいタイミングじゃないですか。
Like a moth to the flame, or whatever that saying is. If it isn't a coincidence, I have to applaud you for your excellent timing.
名前は何でしたか。まあどうでもいいでしょう。
Okay. I know a gaslighter when I meet one. You only forgot my name because you want me to seem unimportant to you, but when you first introduced yourself to me, you called me by my name. Your name was, what was it again? It doesn't matter anyway.
お前に教えてあげましょう。フェンリルという種族の
Boots with the fur, with the fur. I shall teach you a valuable lesson about the Fenrir race. We are.
やめろ!
Stop it! List reached for me. But just as fast, List's outstretched arm was shoved away by Liyan. Liyan? Liyan stood in front of me, shielding me and glaring at List with fierce eyes.
言ったはずだリスト。
I won't lie, I thought she was holding his arm. That would have been cuter. He's so hot when he's mad. It's true. I already told you, List.
あんたの個人的な憎しみを彼女にぶつけるなって。
Don't take your resentment out on her. Lian's angry. Dude, girl can read a room.
でしょでしょ
Dear God. Utter anger clouded Lian's face, a look he had never shown in front of me before. His brother List gave Lian an unexpectedly pitying look.
まさかあの弱虫なリアンが俺に歯向かってくるとは驚きです。
To think that the scaredy cat Lian would finally use his teeth, what a surprise.
お前、随分と上手に俺の弟をたぶらかしてくれたみたいですね。
It seems you have skillfully bewitched my brother and blinded him. Damn, what do you mean by that? Seeing the derision on his face, I couldn't stay silent. I don't know what you're talking about, but you're being rude to Liyan too. He's kind to everyone. I am only one of...
もともとお前は肉親の俺以上にリアンを知っているとでも
Simps stay together. Are you implying that you know Liyan better than me, his own flesh and blood? His words hit a sore spot, especially since I'd only just realized that I knew next to nothing about Liyan as a person. But hot damn, look at him go. What a man.
お前の存在はリアンにとって害悪、傷つける存在でしかありません。
You are poison to Liyan. The one thing you can achieve is leaving wounds and scars on him. That's not true.
いいよ。耳を貸さなくていい。
It's okay, Leah. Don't listen to him.
あいつの言葉は見当外れだ。俺は君に傷つけられたことなんて
Liar. He's a
一度もないし。
Leanne's about to disown you if you keep making his woman sad. I really hate Liz. Like, bitch, you talking your resentment out on random girls who wasn't part of your tragic past that you caused. I'm sorry for complaining about the game switch. Our simp shish is more important than this. The thing is, like, I could understand this without him having fallen in love with a human. I could understand this if this was more like he's worried that Leanne's life is going to be way shorter now.
これからだってそんなことは起こらない。
And it won't happen in the future either.
何を根拠にそんなことが言えるんです？今後そうなるのは明白ですよ。
What gives you such confidence? It's clear that such a day will arrive eventually.
俺たち幻獣、特にフェンリルは人間とは全く違う生き物です。
Maybe it's a twisted test to make sure she never gives up. It's hard to say. We Fae, especially us Ferris, are completely different beings from you.
こんな風にね。
Just like this. Bite me. Bite me. Oh. Okay. It happened in a split second. She tried mushrooms. List form wavered and flickered before me and then... Oh, he's a puppy! Look, he's a puppy! What a cute little boy! Large gaping jaws closed in on me and Liyan, poised to devour us. However, those fangs didn't make contact, instead dissipating like a dream. And the wind rushed by. Only List was left standing there, his expression completely unruffled.
悪趣味な真似を。大丈夫？
That is not funny even as a joke. Are you okay, Leah? Yeah, but what was that just now?
幻だよ。単なるこけ落としだ。
An illusion, a mere bluff. Oh. She'll finish lobby. I won't change the game again. When she finishes the fan disc, she'll be on the better fan disc. Once we get to Alan's rut, I think our lives will feel so much better. I think offer the puppy, give the puppy a treat.
ええ、その通りです。ですが意外ですね。
Indeed, I must say I'm rather surprised. Why is that?
少し脅してやろうと思ったのですが、見た目に反して随分とずぶといようだ。
I thought I'd give you a little fright, but it seems that you're quite the bold one despite your looks. I shook my head slightly before staring right into List's eyes. That's because I've experienced much more dangerous incidents countless times during my journey. Furthermore, it's not like my first time seeing a Fanrin in Fae form.
Huh?
What? My statement seemed to have shocked him to the core. List was rendered speechless and he gazed at Liyan.
まさか、自らフェンリルの姿を晒したんですか?
It cannot be. You voluntarily showed your Fanrin form?
そうだよ。
Yes, I did. I mainly care about Alan, plus there's a certain CG. I can't wait until you see it. Oh, I was so happy even though I did care about the context. That's fair.
バカなことを。俺の事情を知っているなら、それがどれだけ愚かなことか。
What foolishness. You are aware of my situation. You should have known how impotent.
だからこそだよ。
That's the exact reason I showed her. Liyan's tone was calm, in stark contrast to his elder brother who'd lost his
偽
composure.
ったままじゃ、本物の関係は築けない。
You will never establish a true relationship with deception and lies.
どんなに心を通わせたつもりでも、そこに偽りがあれば、信じてもらうのは難しいから。
No matter how strong you think your bond is, a lie will make all faith brittle.
俺への皮肉ですか?
Is that meant to be a dig at me? Oh ho ho!
違うよ。俺はただ、彼女を信じてただけ。
The duality between Asia and Prim. I can't wait for you to see a certain CG. It made me so happy. Prim, I can't wait for you to see a certain CG. It sucks. It's not. I'm just saying that I trusted her. That's all.
彼女は種族の違いで相手を差別するような子じゃない。
Leah isn't a girl who would discriminate against someone due to their race. I feel like that it goes further than that, doesn't it?
相手をそのままに見てくれる。そういう子だって信じてたから。
She looks at people as individuals without their labels, and I place my faith in her. It's like when you have the devil and the angel on your shoulders. Like one's all like, I'm so looking forward to you seeing this. Another one's like, I'm so looking forward to you seeing this. Like, suffer with me. Who's who? Oh no, they're both on the same shoulder. Just different moral compasses. List grimaced at Liyan's words and took a step back. Oh, List looks angry. List then turned and aimed a fiery glare at
た
me.
とえ姿を見て正体を知っても、その本質がどれだけ違うのかを理解することはできません。
Even if she's seen your form, knows your identity, she won't understand the extent of the rift between our worlds.
俺はみすみす自分と同じ苦しみを実の弟に味わわせるつもりはない。
List, you just have shitty taste. I will not stand by and watch my own little brother taste the same pain I
い
did.
つか俺が正しいとわかる時が来ます。 また会いましょう。
One day, you will realize I am correct. See you later, Liyan.
待ってよリスト、まだ話は。
Man is grasping for anything at this point. Imagine, like, he has like this laundry list of, you guys can never truly love each other unless this, and they're like, oh, we did that last week. And like, okay, well then how about with this? And then it's like, oh, we did that like yesterday. I can't hate you when you look like that. Why is everyone hot? I mean, it's just how the art style is. We're not done yet. List waved his arm slightly, and a powerful gust blew through the narrow alley. When he was gone, the wind blew right in my face, and I couldn't help but shut my eyes when I opened them again. Fallen leaves, kicked up by the gust, skittered across the ground, but there was no sign of List.
くそ、あのわからずや。
Damn it, that stubborn wolf. Unable to quell his boiling anger, Liyan stomped the ground before turning to face me. She's like, jump, jump, jump.
ごめん、兄弟喧嘩なんて見せちゃって。
Sorry about that, Leah. No one wants to watch brothers fight each other.
怪我とかしてない？怖かったよね。本当にごめん。
Are you hurt at all? It must have been scary. I'm so sorry. I'm alright. You shielded me after all. I gotta admit that I was a bit scared, but I could tell that he was truly worried about you, so it wasn't too bad.
君ってやっぱり優しいよね。
You're such a kind soul, and you're such a hot man.
だからこそ俺はリストを許せないんだよ。
That's why I can't forgive List.
よりにもよって君を巻き込んで、あんなひどい言葉をぶつけるなんて。
He chose to drag you into this of all things and spout horrible accusations at you. Don't put him in such a bad light. He's your only family and the most special person to you after all. I knew the pain that came with losing family all too well. Smiling, I added, right? Liyan stared intently at me. She's like, he's the most important to you, right? I saw something in his eyes that seemed like a mix of loneliness and heated passion.
それはちょっとだけ違う。
Not quite right, actually. He gently placed a hand on my shoulder before shaking his head slowly.
リストは確かに大事な家族だよ。君の言う通り、たった2人の兄弟だ。
I'm not Asian, but I can make this man beg. Oh goodness. List is my precious family, yeah, like you said. We've only got each other now.
でも、一番特別な存在かというと、
But calling him my
それは
most
ちょっと違うん
special
だ。
person is a little off. Why is that? You said that family is really, really important to Ferris.
そうだよ。だから、
I did, and for the same reason.
家族になってほしい存在も同じか、うん。それ以上に特別な人なんだ。
Someone whom I want to be a part of my family is just as... No, they're even more special. My lips trembled and I couldn't find my voice. He must have noticed how I had tensed up and he spoke in a soft, serene tone.
今の俺にとって一番特別なのは君。
You're the most special person in my life.
リストにも言った通り、俺は君がいてくれるから、今まで頑張ってこれたんだから。
Just like I said to List, I was only able to work so hard and get this far. I love Linkin Park, oh man, because of you. Why? My relationship with Liyan was like that of two friends who barely managed to stay in contact. We only came across each other randomly in our shops and chatted briefly. I even used to treat him pretty dismissively. Why do you care so much about me?
そっか、やっぱり覚えてないか。君が初めて店に来た時のこと。
Are you gonna show him as a little baby? Because I see. So you really have forgotten about the time you came to my pub the first time. Huh? Liyan's eyes softened with nostalgia as he leaned his forehead against mine, giving me a gentle
俺
smile.
は今でもはっきり覚えてる。
I remember every moment of that day, even now. TG, please.
でしょでしょ
Dehydrate. I'm a sucker for a forehead touch, same. Honestly, it's pretty nice. After the fateful incident between List and his girlfriend, he went missing. My mother and father had passed away. My brother, who had encouraged me to nurture Cheers into a thriving store alongside him, had disappeared. It'd been a betrayal. I felt as if I couldn't trust anything in the world, and for a time, I threw everything out the window and just stopped caring. Forehead touch and forehead kisses is my weakness. So is shoulder bites. Shoulder bites are great. It's great. It's kissing tears away from me, man. I don't know. Something about tear kisses is a little bit like wiping tears got me. I isolated myself in Arthier's main branch and left the other branches to their dedicated managers. I even stopped checking on them. I considered closing down the shops a significant number of times, but whenever I recalled the heart my grandfather and father had invested in it, I struggled to act on it. I spent my days sovereignly only opening our shops when it crossed my mind out of habit. Life went on that way, and one such day... Excuse me.
いらっしゃいませ。
Welcome. I opened my shop on a whim and came across a most curious pair of guests. A young girl and a fur ball like Faye. They certainly weren't a common sight, especially not together. But I only gave them a fleeting glance. I couldn't bring myself to care. The girl walked around the pub excitedly, eyes bright. Then she placed an order, full of anticipation, but all of this was nothing but a source of agony to me.
お待ちどうさま。パンケーキです。
My hubby does that, and he doesn't know how to comfort talk because he is quiet type. So he just kisses my tears and rocks me if I'm overwhelmed. Oh, that sounds cute. Sorry for waiting. Here is your pancake. And so, even the pancake I served was appallingly sloppy and half-heartedly made. It'd been so crude that the present me would have exploded with fury at myself for daring to serve it to a guest. However, that girl was different. It's delicious. After taking a bite, her eyes grew moist and a smile bloomed on her face like a flower. What?
そうか、ちと雑じゃねえか。材料はなかなかいいと思うが。
I guess part of me just pictures it as devouring a part of another person. And sometimes that's just a bit, it's like licking bloody fingers, right? I'm like, ooh. If he doesn't lick tears, I don't want him. You really think so? It's a bit crude, don't you think? The ingredients are pretty solid, I guess, but that's about it. But it's yummy. It's the yummiest pancake next to Spiria's.
お前、スピリアのパンケーキ以外食ったことねえと思うけど。
I don't think you've eaten any pancakes other than Spiria's.
ま、喜んでんならいっか。勇気出して外に出てよかったろ。
Flashback to Sympathy's kiss. Yeah, picture that. Oh man, that boy. Whatever, as long as you're happy. See, working up the courage to go outside was a good thing, right? Yeah. But I was struck mute. The girl eagerly polished off the pancake before my eyes, and then she said this to me. Mister, please take this.
これ。
This is... It's called a clotis. I heard it's a flower that blooms when you're happy. This is my thank you gift for your yummy food.
こいつがクロリスを咲かせるなんてな。
Never expected her to bloom a chloris.
マジでうまかったのか、そのパンケーキ。
Were those pancakes actually like good for real?
どういうこと？
He's so chill, man. What do you mean?
ああ、少し事情があってな。こいつ、最近までずっと塞ぎ込んでたんだよ。
It's a bit of a long story. She's been in low spirits for a long time.
外にも出ず、飯もろくに食わず、まるで凍りついたみたいにさ。
She wouldn't go outside or eat properly, almost as if her heart was frozen over.
で、近頃ようやく回復して、外に出られるようになってな。
Lately, she finally recovered and headed out into the big wide world.
今は見るものすべてが新鮮なんだろうな。
Everything she sees must feel new and
こ
exciting.
の雑なパンケーキにも感動してクロリス咲かせるくらいに。
And as you can see, even a sloppy pancake like yours moved her enough to bloom a chloris. The furball kept finding faults with me, saying that it was clear I'd cut corners with my pancakes. But to be honest, I didn't really hear any of it. Because when she had smiled at me, I felt time begin to move again. It was the first time since my parents' passing that I'd experienced something like this. It was the first time I'd received a chloris in a long time or had even seen one bloom. I served her half-heartedly, being negligent even, but she was still happy and I felt both ashamed and so very apologetic. The sloppy ones are always the tastiest ones. Honestly, that could mean so much. I like your cute though. It's like cute! That's how you said it. That's how you said cute. Like sloppy joes. Oh man, I haven't had a sloppy joe in a while. Is sloppy joe a food? Have you never had a sloppy joe? Do you know? Why would you say like a sloppy joe and then say, wait, is it food? I added 3 new words to the bunny dictionary. Yay! It's growing! At the same time, a hot, scalding emotion welled up in my heart.
ねえ、毛玉くん。
Hey, furball.
ああ、なんだ。
Yeah, go on.
俺さ、この子に惚れちゃった。
You know, I think I just fell in love with her.
近寄んな不審者
Don't get any closer, you creep!
そんな感じで、毛玉くんには蹴り飛ばされて逃げられちゃったけど。
Okay, just for the record, a sloppy joe is a burger. It's like a burger. It has meat that is crumbled up, basically, and like a mix of like gravy, sort of, in it. Sometimes it comes in a can. Sometimes you can make it yourself. But that's a sloppy joe. And it is a very messy food, but they are delicious. But the fact that you said it's like a sloppy joe is that food is weird for me. The furball sent me flying with a kick and ran off with the girl in
それ
question.
でもあの日のことは、今も鮮烈に覚えてるんだ。
But I remember that day vividly even now.
ね、もうわかるでしょ？今の話の女の子が誰だったか。
I'm sure you already know the identity of the girl I just mentioned. Liyan pulled his forehead away from me and grinned. He said that whole story with his forehead against hers. A young Fanrin who owns Cheers, he had a rough time after losing his family, but our heroine helped him gain the motivation to earnestly keep the pup going. He has feelings for her. Damn. When I was in middle school, I'm pretty sure we had sloppy joes for lunch. I had it quite a lot. Forehead, not whorehead. Forehead. Dear God. Seeing that grin triggered something in my mind, and I found myself responding with a small nod. I can tell I don't really remember much of it, though.
まあ、覚えてないのは当然だよ。君は心が溶けたばっかりだったみたいだし。
That's only natural. You apparently had only just opened up your heart back then.
でもね、俺は本当に嬉しかった。
I was really happy.
今の俺があるのは、あの時に君と会えたからって言い切れるくらい。
I can declare with full confidence that I'm only here today because I met you back then. That's an exaggeration. I'm sure I didn't mean anything.
それでも。
Even if that's the case. Liyan took my hand in his. It was almost like a reenactment of the day he had accepted the chloris from a small young hand.
それでも君の存在は、俺にとって救いだったんだ。
Even if that's the case, you were the light in my darkness.
でしょでしょ
Aww, you were the light in my darkness. Oh. If he had done this in the past, I would have flung his hands away.
でしょでしょ
I added whorehead to the dictionary. That sounds so weird. Blue's being blocked on. Oh, goodness. If he had done this in the past, I would have flung his hands away. For some reason, having his hands around mine wasn't all that bad right now.
それから俺はしばらくの間、アーテイルを離れて修行したんだ。
I know, it was the word whore, but it didn't block it for anybody else. It didn't block it for Prim, it didn't block it for Asia. But Blue, it's all like, whore. They're like, whoa, whoa, whoa. It's because Blue ain't a mod. I think it's asked before for you guys, though. After that, I left Arthier for a while so I could train.
もっとマシな自分になるまでは恥ずかしくて君に会えないって自分に葉っぱをかけてさ。
I scolded myself saying that it was too shameful for me to see you until I became a better guy. That was my motivation. And now that you mention it, they only started visiting our place a few years ago.
我慢できなくて、たまにリーベルを覗きに行ったり、ダディから話を聞いたりはしてたんだけどね。
I couldn't always hold myself back, and I secretly went to take a look at Labir from time to time or ask Roddy about you. Oh.
落ち込んだ時とか、苦しい時とか。
After all, whenever I'm down or in pain.
君の笑顔を見たら、あの日みたいにいつでも元気になれたから。
Oh my god, Liyan deserves the world. Like, this is beautiful. Simply seeing your smile makes me happy, just like it did that day.
最初はそれだけだったんだよ。本当に。
That's why all there was to it at first, really. At first.
人は成長がとても早いから。あんなに小さな子が気づいたら綺麗な女の子になってて。
The thing is, humans mature very quickly. The small child turned into a beautiful young woman in a blink of an eye.
見てるだけでドキドキして。
Let's compare. Yeah, what ads are you guys getting? Let's
気づいたら声をかけてた。
Just seeing you made my heart race, and that wasn't enough anymore. I couldn't bear it. The next thing I knew, I called out to you.
そして今に至る。
And that's how we got here.
君に向ける思いの形は変わっても、初めて会ったあの時からずっと、君は俺にとっての特別なんだ。
Even if the nature of my feelings for you has changed since I first met you, you've always been special to me.
きっと、これから先もずっとね。
I'm sure that fact will never change. I could no longer deny it. If I had been even one day earlier, I could have written it off as his usual feverish banter. But the eyes that stared into mine were nothing like the Liyan I had thought I knew. This is a confession, right? This is a confession, right? Oh, what do I do? What should I respond? ... is always an option. Saying nothing is always an option. Rust, something, a car one, a Final Fantasy 14 ad. Hey! I might feel the same way. I might feel the same way! Ah! My view of you has gradually changed, Liyan. I can't exactly say that you count as dear to me, but... even so, you're precious to me too.
うん。そう言ってくれるだけで、俺はすごく嬉しい
You
よ。
got a movie coming out about Tornado? It's Twister! A McDonald's sauce, a WestJet, and a MacBook ad. Just specifically a McDonald's sauce? What sauce? Just hearing that from you already makes me want to jump for joy. He's serious. I could no longer avert my gaze. I couldn't laugh it off as a joke either. His pure, unadulterated feelings reached me, and all words wilted in my throat. The only thing I could offer him was silence. It wasn't that I disliked him. I just didn't know whether giving him an answer here while my emotions were still as so clouded was right. Old sauce they're bringing back. I need more specifics. What's the sauce? I need to say something. Liyan, No, it's alright.
俺の気持ちは伝えたけど、だからといって何かの答えを求めてるわけじゃないんだ。
Is this Szechuan sauce coming back? Is it Szechuan sauce? Dude, hang on. Are we Rick and Mortaring this thing? McDonald's. Sauce return. Is it? I typed it wrong. Ah, no. Wait, no, that's old news. No. This is old news. You've lied to me. We got so hyped. Listen, McDonald's is... One time my mom said she wished I could just run away with Ronald McDonald because anytime she'd ask us where we want to eat, I would say McDonald's. I know I'm a trash. I know I'm trash and I eat trash. It's a sauce. It's a sauce. What do you mean it's a sauce? I guess I need to see this ad. I don't see anything about said sauce. This is all a lie. You think it's Szechuan, but you think it's just in Canada. Here you are wanting to compare ads, and then you're not even paying attention to the ads. Honestly, it's a bit insulting. If it's just in Canada, that's too far, guys. I'm in Arizona. It's like almost as far away from Canada as you can get and still be in the US. I confess my feelings, but I'm not looking for an answer from you.
本当はこんな風に思ってること伝えるつもりはなかったし。
To be frank, I never had any plans to tell you all this. Huh? What does he mean? Waving his hands frantically, Liyan spoke somewhat desperately.
君は特別で大好きな女の子だけど、俺は君が君でいてくれるだけで十分。返事なんて必要ないんだ。
Okay then, Miss Complaint Pants. You don't even remember the ad. Like... And I googled McDonald's new sauce ? And it didn't pop up anything. Thank you. I want it. I want word by word. You're special. You're a girl I really like. But just knowing you exist is enough for me. I don't need a response. But I tried to muster up my courage anyways, but Liyan placed a hand on my shoulder. I wasn't sure, but his hand seemed to be trembling slightly as if he dreaded my next word.
そういえば来週の予定とかまだ決めてなかったよね。
That aside, we haven't made any plans for next week yet, have we? He's shaken.
帰りながらスケジュール調整しない？俺もできるだけ開けるようにするし。
Also, this chapter is taking a long time. I don't think we're gonna finish this before I have to go to work. How about we coordinate our schedule on our way back? I'll free up as much time as I can. Okay.
今日は柄にもなく真面目に語っちゃったけど、締めっぽいのは似合わないし。
I know I talked about a lot of serious stuff today, which is totally out of character for me, but gloominess doesn't suit me.
さあ、切り替えてこう。
Okay, it's time to switch modes. Liyan walked off in a brisk pace, and I left the back alley hot on his heels. His back was the same as always, but somehow I sensed a hit of anxiety and restlessness. He said that I don't have to worry about a reply, but is that really the right thing to do? I followed Liyan through the streets, feeling as if something were stuck in my throat. Kiss the boy, my goodness. He's so pretty. Like, what the heck? This man is so pretty. Here's how confident I was that we were at the end of that chapter. I left the 3 in, and now we're at hour 4. Like, oh my god. Yeah, grab him by the collar and smooch him. Like, kiss the boy. Sha-la-la-la-la-la, kiss him. That's how you know he's yours. That's true, I can finish it later. But I was planning to get a neck tattoo for him. I was gonna wear all black. I was gonna be so cute. A few days had passed since the quarrels between siblings Liyan and Liz. How much time do I have left? I have about an hour. I let out a sigh as I made my way back home. Another hard day work at the castle. DMs. I'm playing a video game, my friend. I don't... Oh, throwback sauce. Garlic parmesan. Wait, is this only in Canada though? Is this only Canada? Is this only Canada? Garlic parm, jalapeno cheddar, hot diggity dog, bro. Canada! Canada only! No, you have to send me this sauce now. Who do I know in Canada? Who do I actually know in Canada that can send me things? Cheers. Cheers, I say. Do I have any friends that still live in Canada? Oh gosh. I let out a sigh as I made my way back home after another hard day working in the castle. I keep messing up at work lately. The only silver lining was that they'd only been minor missteps such as omissions in documents or forgetting to submit paperwork. Anyone would be dejected after making the same mistake over and over. I was right. Yeah, you were right. I forget that you're in Canada, so obviously you're gonna get ads for Canada, but this is ridiculous. I deserve garlic sauce. Anyone would be dejected. Actually, it must be pretty bad. Ginny of all people told me to go take a break while he finished the rest. Being so distracted was frustrating, but even if I couldn't tell anyone, at least I had a good reason.
君に向ける思いの形は変わっても、初めて会ったあの時。
She's like, a boy said he liked me. Liyan's words still echoed in my mind. They completely inept the normal I'd been chasing for so long. My heart was still fluttering days later, and the memory alone was enough to make my pulse raise. He said that he wasn't looking for an answer from me. But what should I have said back then? What was the right response? I'm home. I pushed the door till the door opened, sighing as I called out a greeting. The next moment...
どうしたの？そんなに大きなため息ついちゃって。
That was a really heavy sigh. What's wrong?
幸せが逃げちゃうよ。
All that sighing and gloominess will chase your happiness off, as they say. Huh? Hearing a voice both ethereal, as calm as a gentle spring, I gasped and looked up.
久しぶり。最終公演の時以来かな。
It's been a long time, Leah. We haven't seen each other since our final show. Passelia, you sounded weird. I actually didn't realize it was you. Passelia was the one of the circus members whom I had traveled the world with. He was supposed to have returned to his hometown after our tour, but for some reason my precious teammate was right in front of my eyes.
お、帰ってきたか。お前もびっくりしたろ。
Oh, Leah, you're back. He must have given you a big shock too.
俺もこいつが突然顔を出した時は危うくトレイを落とすとこだったぜ。
When this guy showed up out of nowhere, I nearly dropped my tray. Yeah, I'm surprised, but I'm so happy to see you again. When did you arrive in Arthier? You should have told me you were coming. I would have prepared a big welcome party.
そう言うと思ったから伝えなかったんだよ。
I knew you'd say that, which is exactly why I kept my silence.
最近の君はすごく忙しいってラディからも聞いてたし。
Roddy told me you were swamped with work lately. Yeah, just a little. Work's been kinda hectic, I guess. I faltered as I spoke. Passelia looked at me with quizzically.
さっきもため息ついてたし、お城の仕事ってやっぱり大変なの？
You were sighing earlier. A job at the castle must be very demanding, Oh, you heard that?
店中に響いてたぜ。他に客がいなくてよかったな。
It was so loud that it echoed throughout the whole place. You're lucky we didn't have any guests. The sigh had been subconscious. Embarrassment still welled up. I shook my head fervently, pressing my hands against my reddened cheeks. Sorry for worrying you. I'm fine, really. And I wasn't moping that much. I just have something on my mind. It's not directly related to my job.
つまり、リアンのことかな。
But it must be about Liyan, right? What? Shaken, I stared him down with wide eyes. In the background, Roddy conspicuously averted his gaze.
これもラディから聞いたんだ。君が最近は記念式典の準備でリアンと一緒に仕事してるって。
Roddy mentioned that you've been working with Liyan as you prepare for the upcoming ceremony.
お前、リアンに協力頼んでからなんとなく様子おかしいしな。
Well, you've been acting kind of weird ever since you asked Liyan for help.
あいつと何かあったんだろう？言っとくが、ラディ様のつぶらな瞳はごまかせねえぜ。
Something happened between you two, didn't it? And just so you know, no lie can escape the scrutiny of these cute puppy dog eyes. That description isn't accurate at all in your current form. Wait, that's not the point. What a big mouth he's got. Maybe I'll floof him to death next time I get the chance. I couldn't help but think it. Hey, that might actually be a good opportunity. Bottling up and brooding wouldn't get me anywhere. If I didn't find a solution soon, I might mess up big time at work and cause irreversible damage even. Roddy was one thing, but Pauselia was reliable during times like these, right? Alright then. Liyan, a while ago he said he likes me, kind of, sort of, but not really.
なるほどね。それ、ほぼ告白じゃない？
I see, that's practically a confession.
やっぱそういう話だったか。まあ、うすうす察しちゃいたが。
I should have known it was about romance. Well, that was the feeling I got at any rate. So, it really was a confession. It was all so sudden. I was so surprised that I couldn't even manage an answer. I kept thinking, oh, what should I do?
突然じゃないと思うよ。
It wasn't sudden in my opinion. Alright, Pauselia, you tell her. Huh? Pauselia declared this in a gentle but steady voice when he saw the confliction on my face.
付き合いの浅い僕から見ても、リアンから君への好意は明らかだった。
Liyan's affection for you has always been clear, even to someone like me who barely knows him.
多分、気づいてなかったのは君だけなんじゃないかな。
I think he may be the only one who remained oblivious. Hey! I asked you for advice, not harsh criticism. He then turned to Roddy for confirmation. In response, Roddy pursed his lips, displeasure written on his face.
まあな。俺としちゃ気づかないままの方が良かったけどよ。
Pretty much, yeah. Personally, I would have preferred that she had stayed oblivious forever. Liyan acts that way all the time. I was completely convinced that he flirted with everyone he came across. Though I desperately tried to deny it, a small voice stated otherwise in the back of my mind. I'd be lying if I said I hadn't gotten the hint. A part of me, though very small, had vaguely caught on to his affection. But I had the premonition that something fatal might happen if I acknowledged his feelings. Frantically searching for an escape route, I squeezed out a few words in a shaky voice. Liyan said he didn't need an answer back then, too. If his feelings for me are genuine, he should want a reply, right?
どうだろうね。返事をもらいたくない理由があるのかもしれないよ。
I wonder, there may be a reason he didn't ask for an answer. What could it be?
そんなの、あいつ自身に聞かなきゃわかんねえだろう。
If you wanna know, you gotta ask the man himself. Good point. I hung my head helplessly, feeling lost.
でもさ、
You know, Leah.
相手のことはわからなくても、自分の気持ちには向き合えるんじゃないかな。
Even if his feelings are a mystery, I think you can take a good look at your own emotions, my own emotions.
どうしてモヤモヤしてるのか、どうして仕事でミスしちゃうくらいリアンの言葉を気にするのか。
Why are you so bothered? Why do his words weigh so heavily on you that you're even messing up at work?
どうしたらいいじゃなくて、
The question shouldn't be what should I do?
君自身はどうしたいのか。
It should be what do I want to do? What I want to do? I took in his words, cast my eyes down again, and fell deep into thought. Still pouting, Roddy popped down across from me with a heavy thump.
あいつとの仲を応援する気はさらさらねえが、
The last thing I want to do is encourage a relationship between you and that guy.
かといって毎日そんな顔で過ごされても困る。
That said, I don't want to see that look on your face every day
納
either.
得いってねえなら、とりあえずぶつかってこい。
But if you don't like what's happening, don't overthink it. Go confront him right away.
知りたいなら、殴ってでも話を聞け。
If
それ
what
が
you
多分、
want's an
今のお
answer,
前にとって一
get
番
it
の解
out of
決
him,
策だ。
even if it means throwing a few punches. That's probably the best solution, Roddy. He was right. And I pressed a button on my phone. And by phone, I meant computer, because I was putting my phone down. The situation was even affecting my work. I couldn't let it fester. How much is she making at her job? I'm still confused. Above all else, I was completely restless after being left hanging like this. It just wouldn't do. You guys are right. I'll try to find answers. I'll confront my feelings and figure out why Liyan said he didn't need an answer. Go for it, girl.
それがいいよ。曖昧なまま終わらせるのは簡単だけど、
That's for the best. Letting things end ambiguously is an easy way
向
out.
き合わなきゃ進めないこともきっとあると思うから。
But some matters won't get better unless you face them head on. Facelia caressed the water hourglass at his hip gently, a soft smile on his face. I'll give you my all. Thank you, you two.
どういたしまして。
You're very welcome.
礼なんていらねえって。
Hey, you never need to thank me.
俺としちゃむしろ失敗しろって祈ってるくらいだからな。
In fact, I'm actually praying things don't go well for you guys, so yeah. Roddy deliberately spoke in a joke tone, and a tiny smile eased the tension in my cheeks. They made a good point. I still know next to nothing about Liyan. Just a little while ago, I had been ignorant about his family, his past, and even his first encounter. Thus, no matter how much I racked my brain, I never figured out what Liyan meant when he called me special. As Facelia pointed out, I could take a good look at my own heart whenever I want to. I don't doubt that Liyan was earnest when he conveyed his feelings for me. I need to figure out my true feelings just like he did. And then I need to face him properly. This girl's just stumbling through life after a confession. This music's so good, so whimsical. I like it a lot. I like the soundtrack for Radiant Tale. I will say that's something I don't like as much in Cupid Parasite. They have some good songs, but some of the music's just too fast. Coming to decision was a good thing. Unfortunately, the crammed schedule loomed over my head didn't give me time to mull over things at my own pace. The ceremony was approaching steadily and my workload increased by the minute. I confirmed security measures for the big day with Alice, head of the security forces. Liyan and I went around the city's inn and requested the merchants from various cities write up list of their wares. Today had been another day of work from the crack of dawn to the dead of night. That evening, I'm so tired. I arrived at Cheers after their closing hours and face planted on the table. Oh. I thought I had relatively good stamina, but today was so much.
いつにも増して忙しかったもんね。お疲れ様。
Well, you're even busier than usual after all. Thank you for your hard work, Leah.
俺もまさか朝の5時にアポとか何かの冗談だと思ったよ。
When I heard that there was an appointment at 5 in the morning, I almost thought I was dreaming.
というか君、昨日も遅かったよね。大丈夫？睡眠時間取れてる？
Speaking of which, work ended late yesterday too, didn't it? Are you okay? Did you get any sleep? Managed to sleep for another 2 hours. I sluggishly raised my head, muttering that, and let my face fall to the table once again. His confession-like speech was still vivid in my mind, and talking to Liyan made my heart stir. I put Radiant Tale OST on the Otome Discord. Nice. And if you buy that certain version of this game, you can get the soundtrack included. And we have so many new entries for the Bunny Dictionary. Oh, it's so cute. Because I was drowning in work, I didn't even have the energy to feel awkward around him. Was that a curse or a blessing? You look chipper though, Liyan. Weird. You did even more work than me.
仮にも厳重な端くれだからね。普通の人間よりはずっと体力あると思うよ。
Don't forget that I'm a fae. At the end of the day, I have loads more stamina than a human.
ま、今日の仕事は終わりだしさ。温かい飲み物でも入れるから、ゆっくり休んでってよ。
Your work for the day is done, so get some rest. I'll make something hot for you to drink. Thanks. I'll help you make.
はい、ダメ。
Nope, not today. I had to muster up all my energy just to lift my head, but a hand gingerly pressed it back down. I keep misreading fae as gay. I mean, fair. Two things can be true though. I'm a gay, so... oh my god, that sentence with that word makes that's so funny. Oh goodness. The warmth it radiated made my mind turn blank. There was a rustle as Liyan seemed to shrug.
たったの2時間とか寝たうちに入らないでしょ。
A mere 2 hours does not count as a good night's rest at all. He stroked my hair gently.
俺がお茶を入れる間だけでも目閉じて休憩すること。
I'll head off and
いい
grab
ね。
some tea. You close your eyes and get some rest. The rest you can, okay? Liyan disappeared behind the counter, not even giving me time to respond. I accepted his goodwill and stole furtive glances at him as my eyelids lowered. It was just the two of us right now, a golden opportunity for a heart-to-heart. And I'm so sleepy, but I don't know what I may blurt out if I try to talk in this state. I'll just rest a bit first, then Leah? Leah! A voice was calling
まさか
me.
本当に寝ちゃった？相当疲れてたんだね。
Better thing, Liyan's trip. Did you really fall asleep? You must have been utterly spent, huh? The voice calling my name sounded worried, but also cheery, and so very warm.
どうしよっかな。本当はこのまま朝まで寝かせておいてあげたいんだけど。
He strips, I'll scream. What to do? If I were possible, I'd leave you in peace until morning.
そんなことしたらラディが乗り込んできて大揉め確定だよね。
That Roddy would march in and make a big fuss. His troubled musings seemed really cute for some reason. The corners of my lips twitched, my head half in the clouds.
あ、今ちょっと笑ったでしょ。実は意識あるんじゃない？
You just giggled, didn't you? You're actually awake, aren't you?
ほら、聞こえてるなら起きて起きて。こんなところで寝たら風邪ひくよ。
Come on, if you can hear me, rise and shine. You'll catch a cold if you sleep here. Is she gonna kiss him? Kiss him. I almost screamed when we saw sexy ass CG of Jinya. Sexy ass CG of Jinya is the best CG I've ever seen. Honestly, it's up there with my Cena CG. I need to have just pictures. It's just randomly this, and if for some reason it's blondes with their shirts missing. I didn't think about that. A part of me wanted to wake up, but there was countless things I wanted to say to the person speaking after all, but my eyelids were so heavy, my whole body felt like lead. I wondered whether this was a dream, reality, or an illusion, but I couldn't figure it out. Then...
もう仕方ないな。このまま起きないつもりなら。
No more shirtless guys. It could be like, no, more shirtless guys. Yes, more shirtless guys. What am I supposed to do with you? Okay, if you keep being a sleepyhead, he's gonna kiss us. I tried. Didn't work out that well. And then a voice that held a hint of joy whispered in my ear, and then...
いたずらしちゃうぞ。
I'm gonna be a bit naughty. Something warm tenderly enveloped me. I cracked open my eyes, just a sliver, and a familiar face came into view. That can't be the whole CG. They don't usually make them this close, bro. I wanna kiss him! I blinked slowly, then gazed at the smiling man. A single lock of his purple-black hair tickled my nose. His eyes were normally kind, if a little mischievous, and now they were brimmed with mirth.
おはよ
Morning, Leah. Oh, it's so cute. So close. Seeing his happy face, I responded with a smile of my own. Then I gave up and closed my
待って
eyes.
待って何その反応二度寝とか予想外すぎるんだけど
But hang on, wait, for falling asleep for real? I'm sleepy.
いやいやそこはちょっと照れつつ何してるのもうって突き飛ばしたり怒ったりするとこだよね
She's me for real. She's all like, he's hot, it's fine. No, seriously, aren't you supposed to act a bit shy and shove me away or get mad saying, geez, what are you doing?
眠気に負けるとかもしかして俺の色気が足りてない
I lost you to drowsiness? Am I not alluring enough or something? Come on, don't hit on me, even in my dreams. If I let my guard down for one moment, I'm gonna lose.
あのさまだ寝ぼけてらっしゃる
Hey, are you in there? I'm not. Leave a message at the beep. Okay, wait, when did she get a phone?
反応が完全に夢の中じゃんまったくも
That's what a sleepy person would say.
う
Seriously.
てかさそんなに無防備だと悪い狼にこのまま唇奪われちゃっても文句言えないよ
You know, if you're that defenseless, you can't go crying to anyone if a big bad wolf captures your lips.
ほら嫌ならちゃんと拒否していつもみたいに頬を膨らませて
Come on. If you don't like the idea, reject me properly. Pump out your cheeks like you always do. Go on. Dislike. That word didn't sit right with me, and half asleep I felt the urge to speak. Did I dislike this? Whenever Liyan had expressed his affection, I disregarded him flippantly. I never thought I'd never thought he liked me for real, not even once. I feel like that's typed wrong. That was back then. What about now? Now that I know his feelings are genuine, do I still dislike his advances? Do I really? How odd. Don't really. This dream made it easier to tell him. I don't really dislike it. Honest words rushed out of my mouth. Huh?
それってそのキスだよ
He's dying. I mean, it's a kiss, you know.
意味わかってる本当に大事な人にしかしちゃいけないやつだよ
Do you know what that means? It's something you can only share with someone who's super duper precious to you. I shut my eyes once again, ignoring the voice that whined for me to wake up. Then I heard seemingly restless Liyan scratch his head.
もういいんだね嫌って言われないと俺本気でこのままキスしちゃうよ
Okay then, I'll take that as a yes. If you don't tell me to stop, I'll kiss you for real. You hear me? He's so
いやでもそうしたら俺が寝込みを襲う悪いやつみたいな
But only an evil guy takes advantage of someone when they're asleep. Liyan, you've always been evil. You're such an evil, bad, unfair guy. Well, I chuckled, Liyan audibly gulped. Then, as if stilling his resolve, he slowly leaned towards my lips.
よしはいここまで
Time out. This ends here. Liyan shouted this right in front of me as I leaned closer to him in a daze. He shook his head fiercely, almost as if he were trying to dissuade himself.
これはダメだよやっぱり違うと思う
I can't do this. It's not right.
さすがに無防備すぎ
Leah, you're way too unguarded.
俺じゃなかったら今ので本当にキスされても文句言えないよ
If someone else was in my shoes, you really couldn't blame them for kissing you after what you did. You got that? Liyan spoke quickly as he rambled, then pulled away from me. He left?
というか、そんなに疲れてるなら、いっそ少し寝ていったら。
You know, if you're that tired, how about you get some sleep here?
俺からラディに連絡入れておくから。
I'll contact Roddy since you definitely can't.
ああ、っていうか、迎えに来てもらおう。
I might as well get him to come fetch you.
とりあえずベッド準備してくるから待ってて。
I'll go prep a bed. Give me a minute. Liyan headed to a guest room as if someone was giving chase. I stared after him absently. The presence that had just surrounded me was gone, and the fog gradually cleared from my mind. I was at Cheers. You really being respectful. Honestly, I think drowsiness and being drunk are like similar, so yeah, he did the right thing. What? I came here with Liyan and had fallen asleep due to fatigue. As the gears of my mind began to turn again, I combed over the last few moments with conscious thought and
てかさ、そんなに。
Liyan had breathed that statement into my ear. And then what did I say? Eek! Recalling the words I blurted, I reflectively bolted upright out of my chair.
お待たせ。ベッドの準備できたよ。
Sorry for the wait, Leah. The bed's ready.
眠る前に何かお腹に入れる？軽いものならすぐ準備するけど。
Do you want a quick bite before you snooze? I can whip up something light real quick. No, I'm fine. I'm awake now, so I'll head home.
そう？
Really? I sprung up in a panic seeing this. Liyan stared at me dumbfounded.
自力で帰れるならいいけど、せめてリーベルまで送って。
It's good you can make it home by yourself, but let me escort you to Libier at... I'm fine. Seriously, yeah. I'll head out Main Street. Yeah. Okay, see you later. Bye-bye. It's the I'm not in the right mindset. There needs to be consent. Precisely. Forgetting all about my fatigue, I raced out of Cheers like my life depended on it. I ran towards Libier at top speed, my apple red face hidden by the cloak of night. And she was gone. Heck. But the Who party's fully aware of it. I let out nonsensical wails as I buried myself in my bed. I can't believe myself. A few days had passed since I acted like an absolute clown in front of Liyan while half asleep. During the day, my schedule was filled with work, so I had no time for a mental breakdown. Girl, same. I'd never have time for a mental breakdown. Whenever I had time to myself at night, the memories came rushing back, and I withered around wildly just like this. I can't even look Liyan in the face now. If we saw each other in my current state, I was willing to bet that I'd act like a weirdo. And following that would be a hell of missteps. I raised my head and let out a big, heaving sigh. Luckily, I hadn't came across Liyan since the incident due to my large workload. But it's not like I can avoid him forever. We lived in the same city. We were co-workers now too. No matter how awkward I felt, I had to face him one day, and that day would be very soon. Yeah, I decided I considered our relationship seriously. How could I forget?
相手のこと？
We don't do flashbacks up in here. Recalling Paselia's words, I sucked in a deep breath and hiccuped a little bit, but we're fine. It's time to do exactly that. I had to reflect on myself, on my own heart. Let's do this. I calmed down after psyching myself up in a soft voice and steadily recalled my emotions on that day. What sort of feelings did I have for Liyan? To be honest, the answer was already evident. I couldn't even feign ignorance. Though I'd been half asleep. No, because I'd been half asleep. What I had said that day must have been my true feelings from the bottom of my
てか
heart.
さ、そんなに無謀。ほら。
I pondered the question once again. Do I dislike what he had been about to do? I knew it. I'm not against it at all. Even thinking about it now, I arrived at the same answer as that day. Quite the opposite, actually. I'd been disappointed back then when the fateful event hadn't happened.
今の俺にとって君に向
At the time, I'd only felt confused and lost, but the memory now made my heart flutter like a butterfly. A gentle, brilliant, and warm emotion welled up. I like Liyan. Saying it out loud was all it took. The fact sunk in easily, as if a missing piece of my heart had finally clicked into place. It was as if there was budding emotions had been there from the beginning. I looked up at the moon through the window. Now that I'd come to terms with my feelings for him, a pressing question surfaced.
俺の気持ちは伝えたけど、だからといって何かの答えをも。君は
Why did Liyan say that? He'd one-sidedly voiced his affection for me, yet his demeanor had implied that he had no expectations of receiving any reciprocated feelings. Does List past bother him after all? Is there a different reason? The question had me stumped.
そんなの納得いってねえなら知りたいなら
We're not doing this. Stop doing the flashbacks. We need to talk. I don't need a response. Why did Liyan say that? I wanted to see him and ask him directly. Even if he claimed he didn't need an answer, I didn't feel the same way. I don't want things to stay this way, that's why. I glanced at my schedule. Like always, my days were jam-packed and I barely had any free time. Even so, I was going to see Liyan tomorrow no matter what happened. Go for it. Confess your feelings. Fight the boys. I'm not sure. Jinia, who had been working with me, had been shocked at the speed with which I'd finished my work. I requested the rest of the day off, then headed to Cheers immediately. Unfortunately, my fiery determination was met with disappointment as Liyan happened not to be out. I then hurriedly went around to the places he frequented one by one, but there's no sign of him. When I wasn't looking for him, he'd usually take initiative and call out to me. But he chose now, of all times, to be as elusive as a ghost. I walked down a narrow alley dejectedly. Where did Liyan run off to? The fault was my own, since I hadn't made an appointment in advance. But with little courage, I managed to muster withered with every step I took. I've looked practically everywhere. Is he off in another city, perhaps? Liyan made frequent visits to the branches of Cheers in other cities. There was a chance he wasn't even Arthier right now. If that was the case, then searching for him any longer would just be a waste of my own time. He would always find me. He always comes popping up out of nowhere. When I tried to initiate contact, all I found was failure. I really don't know anything about Liyan up to when he's not with me, huh? His status as a Fabies, his family situation, even his past. I'd only learned all of those recently. I knew it was belated, but he suddenly felt so distant I dragged out a long sigh. If I returned his feelings, would I get to learn more about him? Perhaps my mistake was being too in my own head.
誰かお探しですか?
Are you looking for someone? I noticed the shadow that stood before me at the last minute. List. May I help you? His cold gaze from a few days ago still haunted me and I tensed up. List, on the other hand, smiled from ear to ear as he stared at me.
リアンならこの町にはいませんよ。今日は魔法具の仕入れに行ってくる。と言って出て行きましたから。
If it's Liyan you're seeking, he isn't in the city. He mentioned that he was headed out to procure mystic tools today. Is he?
ええ、おそらくはカリダかと。
I believe he's in Kalida. Thanks for the information. Please excuse me.
まあ待ってください。
Oh, I don't think
そう
he's
急ぐ
lying.
こともないでしょう。
But that means he's nowhere. He's not in the town. So that means she can't find him. Please don't be so hasty. Surely you don't have any other urgent business.
実は一つリアンのために協力してもらいたい件がありまして。
To To tell you the truth, I would like your help for a little something that will benefit Liyan. I tried to cut things short, but List detained me with a wary smile. Ignoring him after hearing that was a struggle, I halted and tilted my head. My help for Liyan.
そちらもご存知でしょうが、弟は考えが甘いところがあります。
I'm certain you're aware, but my younger brother is somewhat naive.
そう。例えば、人間に恋をしても大丈夫なんて根拠もなく考えたり、ね。
List is going to the bottom of the list right now. What's a list? The spank him list? What is it? For example, despite having no evidence to back him up, he thinks that falling for a human is fine. Silly, isn't it? A chill ran down my spine. Though a smile was plastered on List's face, his eyes were as cold as ice. I almost felt as if a wild beast had set its sights on me. My instinct screamed at me, and I spun on my heels and started running. I need to get out of here. List, however, remained still, as if he hadn't even seen my reaction.
なのでご協力いただきたいのです。
So I would like your cooperation.
リアンに現実がいかに残酷か教えてやるために。
I need to teach Liyan a lesson about how cruel reality is, after all. His serene voice was oddly scathing, and it pierced my ears like a knife even as it faded behind me. He's not going to chase me. I dashed down an alley, rounded at one corner and then another. I was bewildered at the fact that I'd escaped safely. Somehow I slowed down just a tad. Why? Girl 911. I don't know, man. She did say leave a message after the beep like they have phones, but I don't know. The moment I had carelessly let my guard down turned out to be my downfall. Something flew down at me from above. The ground trembled from the inside.
逃がしませんよ。
I will not allow you to escape. A giant beast stood before me. It looked like a replica of Liyan's beast form, which I'd witnessed once upon a time. Unlike Liyan's black fur, however, this wolf possessed fur of a pristine white like snow. Are you List? There was no answer. He opened his huge jaws and lunged at me. Ah! His jaws closed, holding me captive between his teeth. I need a CG. I just need a CG, not because I want it, not because I think it's hot. I just want to understand. It's fucking crazy. He doesn't want to hurt his brother's feelings at all. He wants to protect him, but yet he's doing this to his brother. It's still hurting him. A human's not hurting your brother. It is you hurting your own brother. Throw a tennis ball and run? I just missed that. Oh my god. Oh, that's hilarious. Oh gosh. You think he likes head pats? There's only one way to find out. Let's pat him. Let me go. I squirmed trying to get away, but I barely achieved anything in my trapped state. He scoffed at me scornfully before releasing me and making a triumphant declaration.
一度だけ忠告しておきましょう。暴れたり抵抗しない方がいい。
Look at this face. He's like, listen. I shall give you one warning. I would advise against struggling and
うっ
resisting.
かり加減を間違えれば、牙がそのまま突き刺さりますよ。
If I accidentally forget my strength, my teeth will sink right into your flesh. The white wolf opened his mouth again with glee and seized me in his jaw. Slowly, he clenched his sharp fangs together. Ah! Just before their pointed tips could pierce my skin, his jaw relaxed and he let out a throaty chuckle.
それではお手伝いよろしくお願いします。俺の可愛い弟のためにね。
Well then, I am counting on your help. It is for my cute little brother after all. Ooh. Okay, we're gonna end it here since I need to end it in a few minutes anyways. So, we're gonna call it right now. This seems like a good spot to leave it at. Give me what Kiku didn't. Honestly, Kiku really messed. We were waiting for it. Kiku never gave it to us. Cliffhanger, yeah, just for you guys. And I'll take my height weight. But yeah, look at that. We did stuff. We did stuff. Raid. Yes, we're gonna see who we can raid. You did a great job. Thank you. Thank you for your support. Thank you guys for being here. It was a great time. Honestly, I also wanted to play more Radiant Tale, but I told myself I needed to finish Cupid Parasite. So, we have only Sile on right now. Is that who we're gonna raid again? Let's see. See, the fear I have of raiding random people is I don't know what their content's like, and I don't want to ruin your guys' life. I like this route. Yeah, this route's really cute. Honestly, the last route was also really cute, so... Alright guys, thank you so much for joining me today. If you are watching this on YouTube, you can check out me on Twitch. I stream about 3 times a week, and as always, you guys here in chat, if you want to see what's happening or remember what happened before, you can visit YouTube to see all the VODs up there. We have some fun conversations happening right now on Discord, and I will have another poll for the next route once we get past Liyan's. I hope you guys have a lovely day. Tell Sile hi for me, because I am going to have to go. Bum, 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 bum. Bye!